hair in their mouths.
Very interested.
All right.
Okay.
What? Stay out of the room, right? And you guys just close the door? Yeah.
Oh, we can keep it open. Just don't mind us. If we get loud,
Loud.
then we can
Right,
close
just in
it.
case, you know, they don't know if they're making
Okay.
That the internet works.
It just comes right on that thing. Is someone here? I can't even see. Okay, wait, no. Two watching? Who's watching?
You and me.
It doesn't. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. You know what? I'm gonna see this, and I'm gonna see me live. I'm gonna watch myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to
Here
put
we
this
are.
on mute.
Mm-hmm.
This is just so I can see. Oh, hey! I can see your comments now. You can totally tell that we don't do this for a living.
Thank God.
I know.
We probably be as
It'd be terrible.
unsuccessful as Pam.
Wait, I got something. Ready? Oh my god!
Oh, I know. Wait, I have my lipstick.
Ah.
Sorry, we're late. I'm not sorry. Sorry,
Oh,
not
dear.
sorry. Where's my drink?
That feels so gross. How do you do that constantly?
And then wipe it up with your hand or wipe it on your pants.
I don't like that, and now I need to wipe my face with something because that was terrible. Okay, let's see. I'll just keep it on. Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. Hi, guys. Hello. How's it going? Hi. Just the tea, please. I love that. AMA. I'll do it over here so I can face you guys. Okay.
I'll go stand over there so that I can,
You can be,
back you up all the time.
yeah, you can be either yes, Matt, or right, Matt, or you can be T-Rex mom.
I like the T-Rex mom part. Okay.
This is my dog, Knox. Proof of life! Proof of life! I know, your mom's insane. Hey, yes, he's a little puppy. So, hi guys, I have my Yeti. And basically, hold on. It's not going to be anything like formal. We just wanted to talk shit.
So that the people who were new, that weren't in the old group, could know what we know from the old group that didn't get moved over.
That's right. Hey, cheers. But hey, who's here? Cheers. Right? Yes?
I don't have a Yeti. All I have is a stupid Stanley cup.
I'm going to put this on the ground because I think I can see it from there if I do that.
But can you
I
answer
would
the
rather-
questions? Can you read the?
I put my glasses on.
Oh well, I'm not going to do that. So you'll have to read them. Okay.
Okay, hi. Well, we'll cheers for you here. Yeah. Yay. So, guys, how many want to bet that Pam's watching? Hi, Pam. Hi, Matt. Hi, Matt.
I apologize for my daughter because
Oh. You knew what you were getting into.
I did.
Mhm.
I did. Okay.
Okay, so today was fun.
It was very fun. The last couple of days have been super fun.
Yeah, they've been really, really fun.
Yeah.
We've been laughing our asses off because, well, what are we going to talk about first? There's so much, and you know, me and Mom, we talk on the couch a lot, or sometimes I'll just call her and we just both start laughing. Depending on the day. She just picks up the phone and we're like.
I'm much more polite than that, though. That's
I'm
not
not.
really me.
It is me. Hi, it's me. So we always say these things like we're gonna say. So we did say that we wanted to touch on Matt's job, but I think in the light of today's tea about
Oh, okay.
we can talk about how Pam is a grief thief.
That's what we think she is a grief thief. That's
Everybody can hear us, right? Yeah. I wish I know, right? I wish you guys were here telling it. Okay, but she's a grief thief, right? So we have given her this. This is not working. I need to go over here. My dog is. You man it, okay, puppy. All right, here we go. We learned today that she lied about her 9/11 story. Not
Lied-
once, many
Right,
times.
Many times.
What was the last post that we just saw that he was gone for days?
Right.
She posted on like 2017 that Chuck was gone for days. And then it went from days to
The day.
the day to I saw him running around on the news with my brother that I hate.
Right.
I love Greg, first of all. Hi, Greg. You're A-okay with me.
You are.
Anyway, and your family, beautiful. Yeah, so Greg picked her up from high school and they went back home and then they watched the news to see if anything was happening and they saw Chuck running around.
Running on camera during 9/11.
I mean, I don't mean to laugh at things. I'm laughing at her lies and how ridiculous they are. They're just so you guys know me, fucking ridiculous, okay? And it's just, you guys know me. I hate myself right now.
I love you.
Okay.
You're okay. You're fine.
But okay, so it went to that, and then it went to so the day, and then it went to she picked him up.
Oh yeah.
No,
No.
she didn't pick him up. That wasn't her story. So let's get it straight. Mom, you do it.
No, you do it.
Okay. All right.
You do it.
So she
I'll
said,
correct you if I need to.
okay. So she said the first time, what today's was, or was it 2022? She's lied about this so many times. We passed like 8 years or so, but it's hard to keep it together.
But she does it every year.
Yes.
Every year. Different line.
A different lie. And then she was saying that the last one that I remember was that he came out of the car after all the things,
Yes.
finally made it home. He came out of his car, but in the morning he took the bus.
Right. It turned into a car on the way home though. So.
Well, I
Probably
mean,
went by what's her face's house, picked up his other car and came home. And that's why.
because there were two cars. There was the sidecar for the side chick and the side family.
Right.
And all of that. So maybe, but no, that's not what happened. He,
She ran out of the house and wrapped her arms and legs around him. It was so sweet. It was like a
movie,
Hallmark. It was a Hallmark.
almost like the movies that came out after the incident.
9/11. That's exactly.
Oh, I just didn't
Grief deep, I'm telling you.
But really what happened was that they not only did not see Chuck running around in the World Trade Center, they did not only, he did not only not come home in a car, not on the bus, because everyone here knows if you lived in this area, right, during 9/11, our mass transit was shut down, including the buses, New Jersey Transit buses. The only things that were running were the ferries. Hi, Tex! Were the skank? Okay, we'll do the roll call later. I don't know how to do this. Anyway.
You've watched enough, you should.
I have a real good job. Anyway. Okay. Everything was shut down. I mean, my parents, we saw so many stories from you guys sharing today that, everyone in this area had a hard time coming home. My own parents took them almost 16 hours to get home after the incident, walking from Queens to Manhattan because everything was shut down. But except for Chuck, obviously, probably because he came home on the same bus, maybe the car, maybe whatever.
Maybe days later.
Days later, maybe wandering around the streets of, I don't know, Old Bridge. I don't know. But he actually was picked up from the train station by Rachel, and what I now know was another family member related to the estranged family member. Okay.
That we want to keep private. Or information private.
Now, Pam, that whole story about her running out to the car, arms wrapped around this, not only was it not a car, not only was it not a bus, it was a train. They had to go to the train station and Pam wasn't even there. Hi, Pam. It's like, why would you lie about that? So she took that story, right? Let's talk about the other stories of grief
That she's
stolen from other people for content because she's a sick, twisted monster.
Well, because in LuLaRoe, they were taught, you have to have a story to create sympathy sales so that people will bond themselves to you. And so when all of this, not that this started, when she started LuLaRoe, because according to all of our information, all the people that have spoken to us, this is a lifelong thing for Pam. She has been like this since middle school. We've talked to people from her middle school, her high school.
Not college.
No, unfortunately,
Never a college person.
We have not heard from her. Any
Show
of
me
her
your
college
diploma.
friends. That's right.
Show me your diploma, because you obviously keep pristine certificates from the Navy
exactly
participation
right,
from
right.
2010.
Maybe she got a participation one from the college.
Maybe
She
MJ wrote her a poem about how she was so proud of her for graduating college.
Oh my God, you're going to hell.
I am. I'll save everyone a seat.
Yeah, that. Okay, so we find that every single thing that she has produced as content to create her life, OCD, the alopecia, the
Cancer.
miscarriage, the cancer, were all other people's stories that she brought herself. For what reason? Unknown.
It's a
Yeah,
grift.
it is a grift. It has to be. But why would she continue it even now, though?
Because it's not just even the grift. I think there was a time where Pam realized she was selling things. And there's another thing. We hear from people that she was not like this when they first met.
Mm-hmm.
She has the ability to mask her true self. And she has the ability to hide the crazy. And we've heard that she's even very charismatic.
I think she's charismatic. I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's how she draws people to her.
Yeah, she has to be some. So here, we gave her kudos. It's like a compliment sandwich, but reverse, because
Exactly.
we don't compliment her a lot.
Right.
And so she, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so, what was I saying?
You were talking about her history of yesterday.
Oh, the grift.
Right,
The grift. And there was a time where she, she was a little bit more normal, and then something along the way where it was LuLaRoe, where she thought she was famous, because she's been trying to be famous since the jump.
get-go.
Little
Right.
Playgirl Pam on Model Mayhem, and the page that she dirty deleted because we found it. Hello, and we saw a little picture of her little fiance at the time. One of
cute.
four,
He
nice
was
Puerto
cute.
Rican
He was a
dude
cute
named
little guy.
David, and his
Mhm.
sister was a porn star.
Mhm.
That
Nice
she actually named the porn star on her Model Mayhem page in hopes maybe that she would get a job. Remember that?
Mhm.
But she doesn't have sex. She's asexual. That girl was a slut, first of all. I heard,
We have heard
many times
stories.
she slept around.
It's interesting because all the people that we've talked
Yes,
to from middle
never
school
forget.
to today all have the same stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like somebody comes and says, "Oh, she was a sweetheart. I don't know what happened to her." No one.
Not a peep.
Not a one.
It is
I said
always,
that.
she's terrible,
She's been terrible.
Malicious,
Mean.
conniving. She would set her sights on one person and then get everyone else in her friend group against that person, and then switch it around so that it's always revolving around her.
Chaos. It's always chaos.
Yes. Oh, I went to school with her, and she has always been like this. See?
Yeah.
I knew it.
And the chaos thing with the friend group continued through JJ Redd.
Mm-hmm.
Because all those angels were basically she was pitting them against each other
Mm-hmm.
all the time. You never knew who you were, who was in and who was out, because there was always someone out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it would switch.
Some of the angels would sleep with their phones on their chest
Right.
because Pam would love to start shit in the middle of the night, and like talk shit about one of the angels, and it would get to a point where they would get so frightened by whatever shit that she was going to start during the middle of the night that they wanted to be on top of that so that they didn't get thrown under the bus.
Right.
Because that was the culture there. So imagine working for a boutique that paid you a living wage, which consisted of no benefits. Sometime during COVID, she didn't pay people. Oh yeah. No COVID protocols. Also,
None.
she paid them cash on their table through PayPal.
I was going to say that, but I thought, no, that should be,
Yeah.
that's the truth.
It's the truth.
That's the truth.
All of it. All of it. So, so they would sleep with their phones on their chest because she was going to start shit, and she did that all the time. She would start shit, start all of these crazy things, and would be like, "Hey, after she would start the crap, she would leave the group chat. Sometimes for days, we were told.
Right, and block people from calling her, being able to talk to her.
Mhm.
Oh, I told her about the mom too,
Oh, let's
about
go.
blocking her mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, anyway,
So much stuff.
I know there's so much. So when her mom had cancer, remember we all heard about, how wonderful Pam wrote those things in her mother's voice about how wonderful her daughter was, blah, blah, took us to Europe, yeah. No, apparently, there were days that Pam would yell at her mother and then hang up on her, block her.
Yeah.
Not for an hour, not for days, block her on
Weeks.
everything.
One was a time to a point where Carlos had talked to Pam, hey, your mom loves you, she misses the kids, please talk to her. She blocked him too.
Right.
But, and this happened during during
When she
Rachel's
had
cancer.
So when she talks about her brother, being mean to her mom while she had cancer, Pam every accusation is an admission of guilt. Everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, is the most dangerous thing about this idiot,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is that she gets away with it.
Mm-hmm. Not
And-
anymore.
Not anymore. And she doesn't have any power. She has no power.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
There are no police coming. There are no lawyers being called. There's no cease and desist.
We actually
There's
talked to
nothing.
several lawyers.
We
about
have
this.
talked to several lawyers.
And they said no. And the funny thing is that me and Mom, if she would have kept abusing that Reddit, hi Pam, Reddit, if you would have kept abusing that Reddit function, we were going to send you a cease and desist. For the shits and giggles, chicken shits and giggles.
Chicken chicks.
Because it doesn't really matter. This is internet garbage. It's just basically just to be petty because we got PhDs in petty. But, oh, someone said, Skank said that we look like mother and daughter, not in-laws. Of course. Oh my gosh. But so, yeah, so she did that to her mom. So this whole crying facade, oh my God, my mom.
I had to drag my mom everywhere. Yeah, no,
Was that between when you were blocking her
right.
and keeping her your children?
I had to have a handicap tag because I was taking my mom to the doctor 3 years ago when she had cancer.
Which followed her to Florida.
Right. Yeah. Her mom must have had a terrible case of cancer
So
because when
much
Pam
cancer.
was in South Carolina, she still had that.
Yeah, she still had the placard. That's right.
Yeah.
But I thought she was in remission. I mean, not to joke about cancer. My mother died of cancer. So, I get it. But that's also reasons why I fucking hate her. Because, you're going to sit there. I know what I did to sacrifice for my mom during her sickness. You know what I mean? But for her to be like, oh, I sacrificed all this other stuff, and then I'm going to block my mother at the same time. You can't have two ways when you're doing that. And then turn around and talk about your brother. You know what I mean? Not being there for your mom.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I was like, yo, this bitch is crazy. So there's that part. But let's get back to the griefing.
Oh, the grief thief?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about, you guys are gonna love this. Okay. Okay,
And sit
remember
down.
Okay,
Yeah.
remember the tea yesterday. I know we had a lot of going on today. The tea yesterday was maybe Matt had an affair, maybe. And I like to say allegedly because, there's no receipts for that.
Right, and we don't want to ruin a family.
Mm.
Well, maybe.
And maybe it just,
If it happened,
I'm just saying, if you don't do stupid shit, you won't have stupid shit happen to you.
kind of like fuck around, find out.
Yeah, I think we are the fuck around, find out incarnate.
I think so. Okay.
So that, so anyway, so we know that she took her miscarriage story from someone, someone in her family.
Mhm.
The story about yesterday with Matt possibly being infidelis with the bar owner, that was more like it's contextual and it could happen. That's why I posted it, because it could happen. Matt.
Okay.
He is isolated from everyone.
Mhm.
She doesn't allow him to have friends.
Mhm.
Watch tomorrow, Matt will have friends.
He'll be on a baseball team.
And we'll see a post about it. It'll be really great. Everyone's going to be clapping and crying at the same time.
Right, love it.
Anyway, So it could happen, right? Because you guys pointed out he was always, he had opportunities to leave, going to the grocery during COVID, going to do whatever bitch shit that she wanted him to do that she was too fucking lazy
Easy
to
to
do.
get up and get dressed.
Right, or wash her hair. We're going to talk about
Oh,
hygiene. Yes, thank you.
Yes, okay.
Put a pin in that, somebody. Please remind me in about 10 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, so,
Mhm.
because it's, anyway. So, okay, Infidelis Matt. I think he's gay. Okay, it's whatever. But, there was many opportunities. Maybe if he was going to do it, maybe if not, whatever. And it's fun to just kind of like toss things around, especially since she's been so
Terrible.
Ooh, yeah. Anyway, so we heard a story. Well, when we first started all this and they first found out, somebody came into mom's DMs
Yes.
and was like, let me tell you something. This man, Matt, has been approaching me
Buying me
online,
gifts.
dating on a dating website, buying me gifts, sending me money that we know they didn't have.
They didn't.
Sending me money, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, well, is this true? Because we were both like, no, Matt had a crush on my husband from the first time he saw him.
Mhm.
And we both thought that for sure. And everyone who's seen the Polynesian video, so real quick side chat, Polynesian Cultural Center is in Hawaii. Okay. The last time that they were in Hawaii, which was also probably the last time they will go to Hawaii, they went to the Polynesian Cultural Center again, which is probably like Thursday or Wednesday of their trip, because their last day is the sassy head.
Had to have hula pie or whatever.
Hula pie is always the last day.
Mhm.
Anyway, so if you've seen that, he's sitting there.
Tracy. Tracy.
Trying to start a fire.
Tracy.
He looked so good at it. He looked better than I do. To do it, not look, but
Look
he
natural
looked
doing it.
very natural, organic,
Organic. It's a good
even
one.
that he was doing that. But I digress. So, Matt would also tell everyone at work when he worked at the base here, my husband being one of them, that he frequent Chili's, the restaurant, and would have threesomes with women that he would pick up there.
Mhm.
So that was fun. Nobody believed him, but whatever. And then he would say that story following up with, how many times do you and your wife have sex? My husband only met him for like 3 days. It was great.
Mhm.
Anyway, so we heard that, but then when we heard this lady come forward that she was having an affair online with Matt,
Right.
we thought, no way.
Right. I thought it was the Websters or Webster adjacent trying to get me to post something. And so I said, I'm not going to ruin a family. You may post that if
Mhm.
you'd like to in the group. But
And she never did.
She never did.
Mhm.
But of course I screenshot it and sent it to everybody. And so now we find out that may be why they sold the hotel,
Mhm.
because they didn't.
In
and-
addition to their being broke.
Yeah, in addition to the fact that even though if you, in the YouTube, I will post it when we're done here, that she explains about the foreclosure and why they had to get rid of the dream house and the hotel. She even says the hotel is all paid for. It was not. And you can see that in the listing. When it was listed, it said at the bottom how much was left on the mortgage.
127,000.
Now that was it would have been, so they sold it for $299. It's 170 something thousand.
Oh, okay.
Is what they took out 170. So you're right, it was 120 something. They
Mhm,
took
because
out
they did put that on
170
Swamp.
because that's how they got the swamp house.
On a bridge loan, Matt, you fucking idiot. I was in mortgages. I know how it works, stupid.
And Pam, honey, let me tell you about how foreclosures work. So the bank holds your note. You don't pay your note. The bank starts foreclosure, right?
Pre-foreclosure.
Right. And you asked a question on that one particular live about, well, do they sell it for the amount of the mortgage? So like we owe $540,000. What a coincidence. That's the number you chose. Is that what they sell it for? Do they sell it for what it's worth? Because you said we have listed it for $1.25 million.
Mm.
What a pre-foreclosure is, sweetie, is that they're giving you an opportunity to sell your home.
So you
If
don't
you-
go into foreclosure.
Right, so that's right, because if you hadn't sold it in the 30 days or however long the bank gave you,
Mhm.
you would be out the 540,000. They would come and get your house, right?
Oh, come get it.
But you would not, okay. But you would not get, if they sold it for 1.2 million after they'd foreclosed on you, then they would keep that money, you would get nothing. Luckily, you sold that house before the bank took it back. So that's why you got the difference.
And that's why you got the check.
That's right. That when you were complaining, well, we couldn't have been in foreclosure because we got money. That's right. That's your money because you sold your home before the bank took it.
Mhm.
How dumb could you be?
Yes.
Google it. Read a book. Ask a realtor. Look into your mind. Does that even make sense?
Yeah, and the reason why we spent so long to verify that information is because we are transparent and we are
That's
smart
right.
and intelligent people, and we don't put shit out on the internet for content just to put it out there. We want our group to have integrity,
Right.
and I'm so proud of us that we have integrity.
That's right.
But we have gone far.
Yes.
What that one topic? Okay, that was the pre-foreclosure.
Right.
Bring it back.
I've seen her do that before. She
I
does that.
hate myself.
You watched it too many times. That's the problem.
I guess. I was just rewatching her explaining the foreclosure earlier today, and I almost hurt myself from laughing too hard. Exactly.
Yes, exactly. It's
Exactly.
craziness that she is a grown woman. I have children younger than her that understand. And if they don't understand regular, normal stuff, they Google it. I mean,
Well,
this-
Google wasn't invented until 20,
Oh, and that is
something.
That's our next subject.
Okay, yeah. So let's first let's bring it back to Matt being infidel.
Go ahead.
Okay. So because this ties into the grief thing, right?
Yes.
Grief thief. So she took the miscarriage story. She took
The nail people.
the nail
guy.
people, their grief, I don't even know his name, but they were so close and all this, and now she's whatever, she's posting everywhere. She took
Princess
that
Kate,
grief.
same thing.
Princess Kate's grief, she took it and compared herself to it. Oh, me and her are just the same.
Right.
Blah,
People
blah,
making
blah.
up stuff about us online.
Right. We have people following us. Anyway. So that, okay, but the whole Matt and Fidelis story. So mom was approached when Matt first heard about us from somebody that said that she was having an online affair with Matt. Mom told her to post it. She never did. So we were like, that was probably Matt or Pam trying to bait us. But we brought it back into play because we heard not too long ago that there was that pregnancy, baby, and beyond.
And beyond, yes.
I did not know that Pam had a group,
She
pregnancy.
started a group.
The bitch who didn't know how to Google miscarriages started a
Right.
pregnancy group.
Right, right. I mean,
And it had a big following. Now I know, okay, that's something, we gotta put a pin in that. Okay, so she had that group, and in that group, she told everyone in there
that's
about how she feels that Matt had an affair with someone in the base gym that he had met, was getting a little too friendly.
right.
He bought her supplements, gym supplements, outside of any of the family financial cards. So none of their bank accounts, just paid cash. She found that out. And then she went in and was like,
In her group.
in her group, I don't know what to do. Who do I talk to? And oh my God, I can't believe this is
The
happening
drama.
to me. And blah, 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 blah. That didn't happen to her. It happened to somebody in their family. I don't want to say their name. I don't want to say what side. Mysteries. But she took that shit too. So she took the miscarriage story. She took her mom's cancer story, which actually someone else that she knew was close to had cancer as well. I would like to put that in and say it was around her age group.
Right, a
Age.
friend of hers.
and she had cancer, and so I'm going to throw that in. She took the cancer story from both of those people. She took this now affair story from someone else in her family. She took 9/11 from America.
I just thought of something. What about the alcohol? That's an alcoholic story. She took that from because his father apparently
Is an alcoholic.
is an alcoholic.
Mhm.
So she took that to get away from. I know that there is controversy about this, but I think she was misdirecting the story about the baby in the Louis Vuitton box in the
The
backyard.
backyard baby. Sweets
Right.
called it the backyard baby, and I will never forget it. I laughed so hard. Love you, sweet.
But I think that that's where she got, that's why he's an alcoholic, because she took that story from his father.
And then we need content.
Right, and the need for content, not just once, not just twice, but anytime she needs to have some Atta-girls, cookies, whatever.
Someone paying attention to her.
That's right, she'll pull out happy 13.2 months, Matt, on being
Happy
sober.
5,000, 2,500, 600 minutes.
Yeah, we're never going to get a record deal, but that's okay.
Well, I'm not asking for one. I know who I am, and I know my lane, which is right here, being petty as fuck. Okay, so grief thief. So another thing, I got permission today to talk about, remember when Pam, she would always say, you know, I've had violence in my family, I was brought up in a
Yes.
violent way, and then she would touch on sexual assault, trigger warning, sexual assault. And then she would talk about her family and her brother. I thought I wouldn't draw a sober breath if I had to be around Pam 24/7. You notice what I'm doing as I'm talking about her because she makes me insane. Anyway, so sexual assault. She would touch on it, say that it was from her childhood, and then kind of misdirect it and talk about her brother. And I thought that she was insinuating.
I did too.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, that's really teetering on real defamation, and we started screen recording that stuff. But come to find out, she took that story too. Someone in her school, high school, not college, because I don't believe she finished college, had SA, was a victim of SA, confided in Pam, and about a week later, Pam all of a sudden was telling people that she was a victim of SA. Didn't confide in the person that confided in her first, went all the way around. Because if she told that person would know, what the hell, you're taking my stories, right? But she's a grief thief. This is this is another level of her psychopathology. You know, the narcissism is definitely present. So sociopathy very much present. But there's this level of I don't even think it's schizo or is she manic?
I know. I believe she's I believe she's manic depressive, because the manic we have seen that. Trust me. The depressive is short lived, so she'll go into a deep depression. Everything is horrible. Life is terrible.
I can't go on the
I
internet.
can't go on the internet. I can't get myself together. I can't push the button to
I
go
can't go on the
live.
internet while she's telling people
People
on the internet.
laying naked in bed or on the couch.
Taking a picture.
Yeah.
I think that looks good.
Right.
Sad.
Hands in her. Anyway. So,
That's so weird.
yeah. So, and then all of a sudden, boom. And we thought at first it was tied to getting money. We thought that's what it was, but it's not. I think it is just a cycle that she goes in.
Yeah, because she's wanting to be famous for her whole life. Okay, so model mayhem. The worst thing to happen to a Pam Webster was this show, the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Okay.
She wanted to be Snooki.
She wanted to be America's next top Snooki. And it wasn't going to work even for Snooki standards, and everyone who's seen that show when it first came out, that's not a good look. So to her wanting to emulate that, first of all, that's crazy. But then, it's very trashy, right? So she just constantly trying to cause it, and then, living in a place where it's small, but still close to main cities. Philly is here, New York is there. Having access to all this reality TV, watching it constantly,
She does.
and she emulated these trash people with this drama so that she could be the center of attention in Podunk Jackson with no K, New Jersey.
Okay. I just got that.
I come quick with it.
Yes, you do. I totally missed it, but yeah.
I know, almost.
Mhm.
But so you're living in this town that's small, but you see all this around you, and you want to be famous. She's always wanted to be famous. Newlywed Show.
Rachel Ray.
Rachel
Price is
Ray.
Right.
Rachel Ray. I remember when.
This is a great story.
Okay, so when she was gonna go on Rachel Ray, she was already on LuLaRoe, and thought she was famous and some bullshit. And also, Matt was trying to get Kyle to have me sell LuLaRoe under her, and I was like, yeah, right. It was like Matt and Polynesian Center. Not gonna happen.
Right. Yeah.
But so she's gonna be on Rachel Ray. He told my husband she's gonna be on Rachel Ray, and she's going to talk about how to become financially independent.
Like we are.
Because she would go around and he would go around and tell these people this, not at that time it wasn't six figures. It was five-figure government job that he got without having veteran status, without having a master's degree, without having a college degree. Totally not qualified for this job. Okay, didn't even have to interview for it.
Let the dog out real quick. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna fix this too. But anyway, he didn't even have to interview for it. Okay, he would go around and say that job was just gravy. This is just gravy.
To people who are working hard, livelihood.
Yeah, veterans. His job that applied for it that didn't get it because he was slotted for it through nepotism. This is all what I know from gossip on the base. Okay. But he does not have a good reputation. Anyway, he's saying that it was all gravy, right? So, going on to Ray, okay? So he's going to go and talk about how to become financially free and independent and free of debt. We've been hearing her sound the bells of I'm debt free
For years.
for so long.
Years.
She went on a goddamn fucking TV show to try to say it.
Right.
And Rachel Ray put her in her place without even knowing it. I love her for it.
Because it ended up being all about how Pam was in debt and how to get out of debt. They
They told her to go on a financial fast, and her face was like,
what? She didn't even know how. She probably can't even spell that. But yeah.
Spelling bee champion couldn't spell financial
Spelling
fast.
bee. Right, exactly. But she kept, this was her thing. The kids were in modeling. In that group that she was in, the Pregnancy Beyond, Baby, whatever, she kept saying how many modeling jobs she was taking the kids to in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if she had, don't you think we would have seen those photos? She'd pull those out day before yesterday? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when she's, posting pictures of one of the howlers. Isn't this a beautiful kid? Or whatever it was she posted. No, a professional photo might have been. But that looks like the dog took. Anyway, so
proof of life.
Exactly. Maui took it. Anyway. So this has been a long time thing. So LuLaRoe made her believe she was something.
Yeah.
But she wasn't.
Exactly.
It fulfilled every little hole that she had that she didn't, because I don't believe she feels good about herself.
I wouldn't either.
I know, but that is something from her childhood that she doesn't feel good enough. So she has to lie about who she is.
Do you think maybe the fact that she found out that her dad had a whole other family at the age of 8?
Well, that's probably a pretty good theory.
That would have stunted anybody. Maybe it was Rachel putting her and her brother in a car to stalk said woman.
Could be putting your kids in that situation where they know adult issues. Absolutely.
Maybe Rachel hiring a PI to find out all this information on said woman.
Sure.
And then bring the PI into their living room to
I-
tell them what happened.
I think that could probably cause some mental issues. I'm pretty
I don't
sure.
have an almost master's in psychology.
We
I'm
all
just
know
guessing.
Yes, well, we could. I know somebody that has an almost master's. We could give her a call.
She'll call the police. Wait a second. Also, the police are coming in like 10 minutes.
Right, so we'll have to go.
So I'm gonna go, and then
Right.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna tell. Oh, I'll be right there. I'll be
Right,
right. They're actually
right.
here right now.
Right.
I'll be.
So we're gonna go eat some pizza.
Oh, the police are here.
I gotta go.
I'm gonna go. Anyway, just joking.
We don't even know anybody that's a cop, so there we go.
But this has been a pattern of behavior.
Yes.
So let's go back onto the pregnancy, baby, and beyond,
Okay.
because this folds into JJ Ray right now.
Right.
Because she had pregnancy, baby, and beyond, and it had a good following. I would say 15,000 people.
Probably about that is from what I gathered.
It was pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have that. I mean, I'm not, and I don't take anything on the internet seriously because I have a real job and a real life and a normal shit going on. But, so she had this group, right, while she was a nanny and a doula.
Which we'll need to chat about that too.
And so, so she was a nanny and a doula, had this group. As soon as she got LuLaRoe, and as soon as LuLaRoe started taking off, guess what she did to that group? She abandoned it, and then told everyone at that group to follow her on her LuLaRoe shit, and then abandon anybody else who was helping her as an admin on that group, and that group died. Doesn't that sound familiar?
It's a pattern.
It's a
She's full of
pattern.
pattern.
She is a creature of habit.
The best predictor of future behavior is immediate past behavior.
This is absolutely correct.
So I think that that's what she's done to Shay and Nicole, or tried to, which is why I believe that we should try and get back in her group, in that JJ Ray group with Shay, to help them,
Mm-hmm.
because
They've been taking advice from the group.
they have been. They're very open. The only issue is that Pam has aliases. She is in that group. I'm positive she hasn't left that group.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you get back in, she'll recognize your name. So if you go in, I'm here from Reddit, like I would, but just go in and let's support these new people so that we can show Pam.
And it doesn't have to be monetarily.
No, just support,
Every girl.
Add a girl, you guys are doing great. Because no, we didn't do that for Pam. Nobody did that for her.
Mhm.
She has to understand that the reason that business failed has nothing to do with the Reddit group. Has
Mhm.
nothing to do with her selling. It has to do with her. Period.
She's the one. She's the one. When she turned the focus of JJ Ray from the boutique and even from her littles or whatever, and made it all about how she's a skinny bitch now,
Mhm.
and then only had banger outfits. As I'm in a banger outfit right now. Actually, it's not. These are sweatpants.
I'm not in a banger outfit, and I never will be in a banger outfit. So there we go. And then the world thanks me very much about that.
Zanana bullshit and all this other stuff. Oh, I don't think we can talk about that though. I don't want to get her mad. I'll talk to her tomorrow. Okay. And see. But yeah, so we have some vendor tea.
Mhm.
Y'all gonna have to wait for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, and when it switched to look how of a snack I am, then that's when things fell by the wayside.
Well, before that, it was my house.
Yes.
Everything was about the house.
My trips. I'm gonna move this so I can go to the other side of the couch. I feel like I'm on top of you, Mom.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's nice and all. I love you, but I just felt like we were. Okay, better. There we go.
So that's when I think it began, the really big slide. Although, hearing from some of the angels, there were financial problems even back then.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, they made millions of dollars. right before the pandemic,
$7 million.
during
at
the
highest.
pandemic, the next year, and then when she moved to South Carolina and started to build that house, that's when it started to slide.
Mhm.
And when it started, and so now she's only talking about how much she's spending on this home and her garage doors and her, fancy people doing the, organization.
That
organizing.
organization company cost $25,000. I wonder why she's broke.
It's a mystery.
Mm.
Yeah, probably eating out so much. But
No, only eating half and then giving Matt a couple bites, and then giving Matt the rest.
right, because that works. But once she did that, the house, and then which I'm finding out some information about, trying to figure out about this diet doctor. I'm not quite there yet, but
We'll be there.
we will be there. So once she had the house, all that drama, she started to lose weight. Now we have both drama, all about her weight loss and how people are not misgendering her, because that's next, but how people are, giving her crap about how skinny she is, how good she looks. She posts time and time again about how somebody has been rude to her about Ozempic, which, by the way, that Ozempic, Matt told someone in words, didn't write it,
Unsolicited. He just sauntered on over.
and said, my wife takes those shots in the stomach. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Ozempic, but it is an injection, and you can take it in your stomach. Why would Matt say that? Why would he tell someone that?
Someone he doesn't even know.
Right. Well, because Matt did a lot of weird things with people who didn't know.
Yeah, he did. He has no boundaries.
Well, I feel like Matt is so lonely that he doesn't understand.
Ay, pobrecito.
I know, but I feel for him because I'm an empathetic person and I'm going to heaven. So, I already have my seat there.
Okay, good.
So, and that was that's the slide that business took. And then the Reddit group, she found the Reddit group.
And she couldn't look away.
She couldn't. But without the Reddit group, she couldn't have pulled off what she did, where she still has people believing she is living in South Carolina. She couldn't have pulled that up. She could not have pulled, without the Reddit group, we would all be sitting here going, what happened to Pam Webster? She'd still be in business because she would have made that limp along. She'd have figured some other way, another multi-level marketing, something, but she can't do that because we know, and she knows we'll find out. We practically know how much money they have. We know how much the warehouse, we know these things.
Yeah. We know how much money, we know a lot.
We do.
We know a lot.
And unfortunately, there's a lot we can't say. We aren't having to give them permission to talk about it. But we do know they don't have a dime. They don't have any money.
Why would you be working for $17.65 an hour if you had money?
That's right.
Right. Why would Matt be working an entry-level job and I don't want to get this video taken down, so I'm not going to say where in Florida, but in Florida for for almost half of what you used to make in your internship, Oh man, should we talk about that?
We can.
Well, okay, what do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about Matt T with the work, or do we want to continue with Pam's villain origin story, or not Angel updates, but because Angel updates they're doing great.
Yeah, they are. All of the angels that have contacted us, great people.
Yes.
Doing what they're supposed to be doing, and grateful that nightmare is over.
It's over. And the thing that we hear often is that they can't believe that they fell for it. Now that they've stepped back and they have distance, and they're able to even just see our Reddit group and look and see even while they were in the cult, I call it a cult, and they found our Reddit group and they were like, oh, they're terrible. But then now they have distance and they come back into the Reddit group and they're like, you guys are right. you know.
I don't know why I didn't see it before.
I can't believe that I let her do this to me. And when I tell you that she had deprived them of sleep, she would make fun of what they ate.
She would allow them to eat things.
Yes, she would insist, if she didn't like what they were eating, she would insist that they throw it away or get it out of her face.
Because she couldn't stand the smell or
Whatever
because of
bitchy
whatever.
shit that she was talking about.
You know, just like regular, well, I can't stand the sound of the paper, the crinkling of the
it's just
plastic
making me
bags.
crazy.
Right. My OCD can't take it. You don't have OCD.
Mm-hmm.
You have bitchy D. So
that's the first time I heard that. Bitch CD. I love it.
but that's what she has, because there's no reason for her to act like that. The idea that she is this benevolent boss that would take all of her group to different places, go to Hawaii for a photo shoot, take them to, on vacation, we're going on a cruise. She made it sound like she paid for all that. She didn't.
She would select who she would pay for.
But everybody was going to go.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, she would select who would be paid for. Some, which is fucked up. These were business trips.
Right. And she would make the angels pay
Mm-hmm.
for the business trip, for their part. So let's just use an example. Let's say they were all going to Dallas, stopping in LA first. So she paid for them to go to LA Market or whatever. Then on the way to Dallas for pictures, let's say that. She'd go to Dallas. And then she would turn to one of them and say, there it is, we're back.
Hi. Okay, sorry. I was so very, very nervous.
She would say, you have to pay for your own way back. I paid for your way here. You pay for your own way back, which is not how business works.
No.
It just isn't. If you pay for a business trip for me to go somewhere, you're paying for my ass to come back on that same ticket.
Yeah, no kidding.
But Pam did, mostly, I think, because it was a control thing. So she could control the girls.
Yes. I just want to make sure you guys can still see us.
So let us know.
Okay, I see him. Okay.
We okay?
Yeah, they're good. They're
Okay.
good. Okay.
But that's how she controls those girls, by dividing and conquering, choosing one that's her favorite this week or this month or this quarter, and you're out, and we're going to talk about you.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that from every single angel.
Every single one.
Every single one said that, even ones that didn't know any of the other people.
Oh, our viewer limit is maxed. I'm sorry for those people who can't get on our limit, get in our live right now, but we will post it.
As soon as we're done.
As soon as we're done, I'll be posted it onto the YouTube and in the Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have too many followers for YouTube to let us have a maximum of 25,000 people to view, because we're poor and we can't afford to buy.
We are a poor.
We're a poor, and we can't afford to buy fake
viewers.
So that's the explanation of
Yeah.
that.
But we would
But
be
anyway.
willing to sell you something so that you could send us money to our PayPal so that we could afford.
But first, we need to pay our employees through the PayPal under the table.
Right. Because the IRS loves that shit.
Yes. But then first, during a pandemic, let's make them all come into work.
Absolutely. But we won't.
And then when one of them contracts COVID, we'll send them all home with no sick pay.
Right.
She made people go without pay during a global pandemic. Yes, you heard that right. And fun fact, she says that too. Hi, Pam. You didn't give those ladies any benefits, so quit your fucking lying.
Right. That's not a
one.
living wage at all.
No. Also, constant discrepancies between pay, where they would have to ask Matt, hey, you shorted me these hours.
Was a common thing.
Common. So So much for living wage.
Right. So all that talk about how generous she is, or how, you got the customers help her keep her friends, her besties in line and with money. And if she gave up the business, how would they be able to do their living?
Because if it's, thank God for me being in business, I
That's
do
right.
this for them.
Right. That's the only reason I'm keeping my business open is so that they can have a living wage. Bullshit. That from top to bottom was a lie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we didn't hear it from just one. We heard it from a number of people, so we know
Every
that's
single
true.
one,
We
every
know
single
that's true.
angel that
Right.
we have, and we've talked about 7.
Hi, Pam. They said hi.
No, they actually said.
That's a hi. It's sort of a salute. Yeah.
So, and then dealing with all of that, let's talk about Matt watching them undress.
Oh. So every single person we have talked to has said that Matt was creepy. Now, creepy is a subjective. Pam thinks we're creepy because we can find stuff on the internet. That's not creepy.
It's smart.
What is creepy is having a guy watch you change clothes.
And we've all seen him watch dupe change clothes. So
Right.
it wasn't just like a nonchalant like this. It was.
Right. Or stand at the edge while you're teaching the kids. And stand at the edge of the bar. And what?
Talk about how they censored what they were taught.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about homeschool, because that's another issue that we have heard about as well. Anyway, Matt standing at the edge of the counter watching people, cameras everywhere, cameras all over that warehouse. What are you looking for? What are you looking at? Why do you need to see what's going on? Now, supposedly they were towards like the computer, so that they could see that everybody was working while Pam was laying on her couch, or she was in Disney World, or in Europe, or Hawaii, wherever she
Somewhere
was.
with her besties.
Right, with her
Somewhere.
Who's watching those cameras when the girls are changing clothes? Who's watching them?
Where is that footage being kept?
Right, because I know that on my Ring camera, it's on my phone, so I can go back.
And didn't she always have rings?
She always had rings.
Remember, because she said in the Swamplex they had to get extra cameras. In the rental in Florida, they had to get extra ring specifically.
She used the word ring.
And even Nest, even if she did, okay, let Miss Semantics, even if it was Nest or any of those other stupid ones,
Why do you have cameras?
you still
on
have
there?
access to the camera on your phone.
Right. So you could be in South Carolina and the girls be changing in New Jersey and you're watching them.
And let me tell you how cute these girls are, though. Beautiful, beautiful women. And Pam systematically tore each of them down because she was intimidated by them.
That's right.
That's just my little quip on that. They were beautiful. They are beautiful. Hi, honeys. But
And they got ill. I mean, Pam made some of them physically ill, where they had to go in the hospital or they had to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
These girls got fired by text.
And then blocked.
So that they didn't know what Pam was saying about them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they couldn't defend themselves. Just much like in her group.
Right. And Pam, it wasn't Pam. It was Matt that did it, not Pam, because she's chicken shit.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to take responsibility for that.
Mm-hmm.
She takes responsibility for, we have that video of the youngest Howler saying, Mommy gives us everything. He wrote a paper about it.
There's also a poem or something about it.
AI wrote that. Yeah. But she that's what she does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you talk to the ex-angels, every single one has the same story.
Yeah.
So we've coordinated, we've corroborated every single thing that we're telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
There were cameras in the warehouse, even when. So there are cameras all over the warehouse,
Mhm.
right? And there's a corner of the first warehouse where there's like a little sliver where the angels, by the computers, where the
Right.
angels would change,
Right.
right? They had the changing tent in the second warehouse, not in the first.
Mhm.
Even when they would try to hide and they would put the
Go
clothes,
into the bathroom or
yeah,
something.
they would put the clothes up in a certain way so that maybe if Matt was there, they wouldn't be able to see. But guess what was there facing those clothes and the cameras where the angels were changing were cameras.
Mhm.
Guess who had access to those cameras? Creepy ass Matt.
Yeah. That's the definition of creepy Pam.
And
That
that's the definition of creepy. And then telling people who worked for you in your homes that there's nowhere in this house that you do not have visual access to. Creepy.
Mhm.
Why would you put a camera in your 11-year-old child's bedroom?
Control. That's what.
Yeah.
And so much control that one of the teachers told me that Pam and Matt would pay attention to what she was teaching those kids and would censor her, would say, no, we're not going to teach that.
Or no, you're teaching it wrong.
Teaching it wrong. This is how you should be teaching it. Because Pam didn't want to teach them. She doesn't want the responsibility of that. She wants the glory of being the homeschool.
I'm
Kids
gonna
are all
text
homeschooled.
I'm gonna text King Trapper to tell him to help me so I can refill my drink. Because I don't want to leave.
To who?
King Trapper.
Oh.
How do
Okay.
you do this, Mom?
Here.
Time out. I need a refill. I will make my own drink. I just don't want to leave you for more than like 2 seconds. So I'm just gonna have him bring me my stuff. And I'm gonna say please and thank you because I love him so much.
You want me to do what? Ask him to do
Yeah,
what?
bring up the Tito's. Please. Please. Well, you're texting him. You can just tell him. You're his mom.
Okay.
Yes, kids are for clout. That's true. She used the. We were watching today because we were trying to see if they ever did Stolen Valor. They were Stolen Valor adjacent, but we were watching a video of, if you've ever lived on base, you know what 5 o'clock taps is, right? So she had posted a picture of the howlers, very young. It was pretty cute. I mean, like, Grayson was adorable.
Oh, doll baby.
So cute.
Mm-hmm.
But-
grow up to be such a.
Well, I mean, his parents. But so we were watching this taps video, and even at that age, she's training them and
To put on a
demanding them to act a certain way. No, you need to stand over there.
Put on a show.
Yeah, you need to stand over here. This over there. Oh my gosh, thank you. I love
Thanks,
you.
Kyle.
King.
Thanks, King.
Alias, Mom, alias.
I'm not calling my kid. It's been 4 years trying to make him not be.
I know, right? Well, you know, he is. Whatever. Anyway, we digress. So the kids, they would censor the kids of what they were being taught, and then if they didn't want to learn,
They didn't
that
have
day-
to. If they didn't want to do school, they would say, you don't have to do school. And the teachers were expected to wipe that youngest kid's behind after he pooped. The
At
kid-
6.
At 6, and they would say, he's only
only
6 years
6.
old.
How would you expect him to wipe his own butt? He's only 6.
However, that happened when she and one of the besties was talking about, oh, he wiped his behind or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was just last year when he was almost 8. But he still had just started wiping his behind. Yeah.
Yes. Still the T, just the T. Yes.
Yeah. But the teachers, and if the teacher said something, then they were gone.
Yes. They were excommunicado, fired by text, then blocked.
Then blocked.
Doesn't matter if you, and that happened to the warehouse.
Same
South
thing.
Carolina warehouse people.
What happened to the South Carolina warehouse?
Let's talk about that.
Okay. So Pam moved to New Jersey, down to South Carolina.
Without approval
Well, yes,
from the government.
right.
His husband worked, yeah, you know, whatever.
But I think that she believed that these people would move down there with her. So she's gonna get a second warehouse. She goes through all that. We all hear about how she's, they're remodeling it or whatever. It's gonna be
They
great.
had forklifts and Amazon trucks coming
Right,
in.
coming in. She had pictures. There were at least 6 girls hired. 3 days later, they get a text saying they're not working, that they've been fired. Matt did it, not Pam.
She would make him do it.
And so these girls, some of them had quit their jobs
2 weeks notice and everything. Some of them moved cities.
to work for Pam in this wildly successful business. And then they get there, and she 3 days later fires them by text. No explanation, it's just not going to work out. But it didn't work out because the warehouse didn't work out because they didn't have the money.
They didn't have the money, and she didn't have the wherewithal.
Right.
She's
She
a
didn't-
lazy bitch.
She didn't want to take the time to train these girls by herself
And then work.
and work.
Because that's why she left New Jersey in the first place. She didn't want to work at that warehouse.
Right. She wanted the end goal for Pam would be for her to live in South Carolina, rake in the money. These people do all the work the exact way she wants them to, even though she's 800 miles away. She was still berating them because she's looking on camera. She's seeing what they're doing. If she asked them a question, she would say things like, you guys, or Matt would, not Pam. Let's be real. Matt would say to them, think about how Pam would do it. You try and make her happy.
Yeah. Why don't you make her feel better? You're doing this to her. You're ruining her vacation.
Right.
That was actually said. You're ruining her vacation.
By making her do things for her business that is 800 miles away.
Oh my God. See, this is why I don't work for dumbasses, because I can tell you on 2 hands the amount of bosses that try to talk to me in a certain kind of way, and I told them to fuck the fuck off. You know what I mean? But when you're dealing with people who only hires people who they are friends with, past, present, past and present, people who you have in the past emotionally manipulated and bullied. All these people, of course, you're going to surround yourself with people that are not enablers, but are afraid.
Right. And that's the fear.
She ran a cult.
What she did was she was abusive to these people by making them afraid of her because they didn't know what she was going to do. And she made it seem, and the NDA. There is no, an NDA, we know who drew up the NDA. That NDA was like a non-compete.
Yes.
It was not, don't tell anything. Besides, what?
Who would sign an NDA for an online boutique?
Right. For Pam and Matt Webster, who live over,
wherever.
Right. In a condo somewhere in Myrtle Beach. Why would you sign an NDA for that? That should be clicking in your mind. Are we into the cartel? Are they moving drugs?
Remember when she said that? Also, that was never a thing. I remember one live when she said, when I came on the live the very first time when I decided to tell Pam about herself, because I had that up to here with her bullshit and her fucking husband's bullshit. That was a great day. She was here for that. We were like, anyway, I went in there and I was asking, so is he fired or quitting? Is he still working or what? She went on a tangent about how, see, everybody says things about what Matt's doing or whatever, and she gave us a story about how people were accusing her of being a drug dealer.
In the clothes. I
have never heard that. Never. I know not just my husband at the base. I know many people at this base. I'm friends with I've been in Lakehurst for like 12 years.
Right.
So, not one person ever accused Matt Webster and Pam Webster of drug, whatever, of distribution or anything. Never happened. We did accuse him of stealing time.
Right. Which,
And look where that got you.
Right.
I hope that settles well.
especially since we know where you don't work.
And where your husband doesn't work anymore.
Exactly right. That's right. We crack ourselves up all the time. This is
This is our life.
yeah. Calling each other, talking about this shit.
It's great. It's fun. But anyway, we digress. So, yeah, she, the warehouse. So it was always never anybody. It was never her fault. It was always somebody else's. This is how she lives her
Right.
whole life.
Right.
Right. So she had all these people come down for 3 days. They were. You remember the videos of them, Matt dragging the forklift in South Carolina?
And the girls on the floor and Pam on the ground looking like she's screwing in something.
And the boys running around.
Right, right. And that was supposed to be what, and it was 110 degrees. Remember, she said it was 110 degrees. These girls are rock stars or some crap like that. I'll find it because I have that post. And then that was it.
And then that was it.
That was it. And she told another angel that she didn't want to open the warehouse. She didn't want to do that because she'd have to, I'm sure say that she didn't want to work, but she didn't want
She
to
didn't
work.
want to work.
That's why. But she went into this big, long, skit about how the guy who owned the warehouse, the landlord, he wouldn't do what they wanted to do in a timely manner. So it was not their fault they didn't have a warehouse. Because of course, in Myrtle Beach is probably the only big building.
It's the only warehouse in Myrtle Beach.
Exactly. But they couldn't. But that's why they didn't do it. When in reality, she didn't want to work. She knew if she had a warehouse down there, not up here, she was going to have to work.
Mhm.
And they couldn't afford 2 warehouses. So
Not at all.
if Chelsea and Megan didn't move down there to Myrtle Beach, she couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Living wage, which to me is $35 an hour. There's no way she could pay $7.85 an hour for those people and still afford it.
Mm-hmm. And then we come to find out the landlord said when she was getting out of it, it wasn't that the landlord didn't want to do what she wanted to do to build
That's right.
out that place. She called the landlord and was like, can I get out of this lease? The landlord said, sure.
Yeah. Go ahead. Why?
So that also was a lie.
Everything she says
It's a
is
fucking
a
lie. Oh, I can't say
Do you remember when who here remembers when she gave a lie at the new house, at the dream house?
Oh, someone asked real quick, was the plan to close the New Jersey warehouse at the time? Never.
Never. She'd
moved to South Carolina without telling those women.
that she was moving.
Oh,
Because-
yeah.
So, but that is because she didn't come into the warehouse.
I'll have to go to the
She
bathroom
didn't
real quick.
work except once, like every couple of weeks she'd show up and do a live, or she'd come into the warehouse and everybody would be so nervous that would make some of them sick to their stomach because she was coming into the warehouse. I've never had a boss like that for longer than one day that I would be sick if they came into my office. It would be horrible. But that's what these girls lived with. So when she moved to South Carolina, I think she thought these two would follow her so they could keep their jobs or, that made them a living wage in South Carolina where it's cheaper, whatever. When that didn't happen, because she knew if that warehouse was there, she would be expected to go into the warehouse. She could not vacation all the time, and
Yep.
she'd have to do work. Her saving grace was they were up here. So she didn't have to go to the warehouse. She didn't have to do inventory. But she could sure as shit show up at that warehouse and throw those girls under the bus.
fucking bus.
Because the warehouse is a mess. There's all these things. We don't know what's going on. If you touch every single thing, Pam, that you order, then you should know when it comes into the warehouse so that you can fucking sell it.
Yeah.
Because if you get there and say, I didn't even know we had this. How the shh, nuts. How did
Nuts.
you touch everything? How are you running your business?
Mm-hmm.
She's
how
not.
do you touch it?
She wasn't at
No.
all. So it failed because she was too fucking lazy.
Lazy.
And that's why sometimes I think, Matt's such an asshole. Why would he not go to work? Why would he try and fuck the government? he had to.
Mhm.
He could not leave those children with her.
Yeah,
'Cause
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't, because she doesn't do shit
Mm-mm.
all day long except lay on the couch, scroll TikTok, and read Reddit.
Who remembers one of the last few times that Matt went into work at Charleston before he got fired or quit or
I
whatever?
remember.
And he was already almost like an hour into his drive, maybe 45 minutes into his
Mhm.
drive. One of the dogs had peed outside of the crate, and this bitch made him come home
To clean it.
to clean it. I'm sorry, first of all, full disclosure, my husband does provide everything in this house. His salary does provide everything in this house. Everything that I make is extra.
Great.
I'm not trying to flex, but I am very, very, very fortunate. But I worked my ass off,
You did.
and
did.
so did my husband.
Mhm.
Okay, all of that being said, if the person who is the main breadwinner in the household, that person's job is what keeps your family afloat, why would you, in your right mind, tell this person to come all the way back to clean up some dog piss? Dogs that you wanted,
Mhm.
right? It doesn't
Mhm.
make sense because she's a lazy fucking bitch.
Mhm.
Didn't do anything. And that's another main common thread.
Through the whole thing,
Everyone that
everybody
we
said
talk
that.
to is that she's lazy, she's gross, she's disgusting. Everything that was, it may have looked a total Monet. Who has seen Clueless? She's a total Monet.
Right.
From far away, it looks okay, but when you get up close, it's a mess, right? So, who would do that? Just a lazy bitch, okay? Let's talk about hygiene.
Yeah, I just was going to say that's a good segue into the next subject. Okay.
So,
I'll let you tell this one because I will vomit. Okay.
dude, it's gross. Okay, so I have heard many times we have all heard, we all used to just, at first I thought we were just being petty. We're saying that she looks dirty and whatever. And to be honest, I can't tell when somebody looks dirty unless they have actual dirt on their face, right? Or I can smell them. And Pam, I never got close enough to her, thank the Lord of God, that I never got close enough to her to actually be around her to be able to smell her. But many people, I would say, not even over exaggerating, 4 people that I've talked to that have said she smells bad. Okay. Number 1, the sandwiches story. You can go if you need to, Mom.
It's horrible.
The sandwiches story when she was like, Mama packed me these sandwiches and I would just throw them under my bed. And then there was a smell. Blah, blah, blah. She was pissing her pants and in her bed. She would take her pissy panties and throw them under her bed and hide them there until the smell was so horrendous her mom actually said something. Yes, that happened. There was a 3 a.m. Run to the Walgreens for Monistat. Yes, when she was younger. We've all seen her get ready with me TikTok. Right? So that's just whatever. We all see that. Okay. So you remember the washcloth? She's just kind of wet. A little bit, no soap. And then she used to do it to her vagina.
Tracy.
Because she thought soap would cause bacterial vaginosis.
According to her, it did.
According to her, it did, right? She smelled so bad that people around her thought that they had something going on.
They went to their doctor and found out
It wasn't them.
it wasn't them.
I mean,
And the reason why is the leggings. How many here bought leggings from her? Because if they
None.
were, right, if they were not leggings that had like a cotton crotch, which I remember her doing on a live talking about that. Without a cotton crotch, your lady parts cannot breathe. And when they cannot breathe, bacteria grows. I know that everybody knows that because your mom's told you.
health class.
Health class, your girlfriend with the locker next door, she would tell you. Unfortunately, no one told Pam that. She wore those leggings all the time, and I'm sure it set up some funky something or other, and other people noticed. You can tell the other.
She also didn't shower for weeks at a time.
In a hotel with other people.
Weeks. So we are not wrong in our assumptions. She's a nasty fucking bitch.
And I feel for her children, because if they're going to public school and they're not showering,
It's terrible.
it's horrible for them. Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And she must want them to get their asses beat on the playground every day, is all I can think.
I
Because
don't understand that,
I
because she
don't
wanted
either.
so bad to be. She was popular. I heard that she was popular. She was
cute cheerleader,
I mean, cute is relative. I
Well,
don't think
I
she
know,
was cute.
but I think
She looked
I
like
think
a mouse on drugs. to
I
me
think
at
she-
all times.
Tracy, I think she was. I think she was. She's a cute girl.
You're so nice.
I know she is a cute girl, and like that younger boy, he's darling. He was darling.
Yes, Sassy's so
But
cute.
once you know their personalities, that takes all that away. All of
Mhm.
that away. Pam is not cute at all.
Mm-mm.
But you know, when you look at the picture, you don't know her, so you think
Mhm.
she's a cute little girl. She's
Mhm.
cute. I would think she was cute. I wouldn't want my son to date her,
No.
but I'm sure Matt, you know, she was. The reason I wouldn't want my son to date her is because she was not a. She has no morals.
Can I tell you about the story that we were told on how they met? Okay, I'm gonna write a haiku from Miss Molly.
Okay.
I helped her move. She let me have sex to her. We got married.
Boom. Boom. I'm sure that'll be on. It's going to win a Pulitzer Prize for poetry. Anyway. But that's the truth.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
He had an F4 150. He probably came back fresh from a threesome at Chili's.
Right. And her boyfriend came home and found them. I think that's probably true. He came home, found them on the couch, looking at photographs, looking at old pictures.
Looking at pictures.
Okay. And kicked her out. So
Mhm.
she had Matt come move her.
She let him have sex.
She let him have sex and moved in with him. And the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
A few months later, they got married.
And that was her like MO for a while. I was told that she was engaged at least 4 times, 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
including Matt. Sorry, you were like not even the runner-up, second runner,
Third runner-up.
You're
You were.
just
That
like
was it.
the whole Miss Congeniality. We'll call him Miss
There
Congeniality.
you go. Right.
Miss Congeniality.
Right. Because I do think that Matt is personable or can be personable.
could
I
be.
think that, you know, I think he suffers a little bit from low self-esteem, and as a braggart. But I think that, you know, with the right chick, he'd be great.
Which
So-
he did have a right chick,
That's right.
and the family loved her, begged him to go back to her. They had a dog together, Riley, which is why she punished that dog.
The brown lab, was it
I don't remember what Riley was, but
Yeah.
he was just a dog.
a dog?
That was loved by Matt and his ex-girlfriend. When they fizzled out, Matt kept the dog, and
Mhm.
Pam punished the dog for being a remnant of that
A
relationship.
reminder of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She hated that dog.
She hates anything that takes attention or doesn't allow her to feel like she's the most special one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But we're trying to figure out the timeline of when the miscarriage happened
Oh yeah.
versus where they were when they were married.
Because the math ain't math and math,
It,
right?
it
Math?
really doesn't math.
Just real quick, I feel like she told Matt that lie too. I feel
Yeah.
like she told Matt that she was pregnant and she was having a miscarriage, and he didn't know. He was too.
Well, he's a guy.
I don't want to see not dumb, but he was naive.
He's a guy.
Yeah, he saw a huge period clot in the bathroom toilet and was like, "If she says that's a baby,
That
But
is.
that's a
and having-
freaking
she's having a
baby.
miscarriage.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And I think that Pam is manipulated enough to know that Matt has a kind heart.
mm-hmm, We've
And
heard that a lot.
we
and
have.
We'll give that to him.
Right. People have said he's a kind person, and who he was before he married Pam, totally different person. So when she told him that, he probably thought, oh my gosh, we had a baby. Ooh, and then fell
Trauma
into the
bond.
rainbow. That's right. Trauma bonded with her. And then they get married. But so she gets pregnant, let's say September.
I first heard she got the miscarriage happened in February, is what was her story.
Right. Well, that doesn't work right with the dates,
No, it doesn't.
because somebody remembers that happening and it being sunny and warm outside because they were on the deck
Having a barbecue.
having a barbecue. I've been to Jersey in February. There are no barbecues going on outside anywhere.
I mean, unless you grew up here and have a bonfire, but not
A
us.
bonfire is totally different than a barbecue.
No, that's right. I'm not an outside person.
Well, I'm not either, but I do know that if Jerry says to me, we're having a barbecue, I'm not going out sit outside in the cold around a fireplace.
You don't
and
even sit outside in the
I
cold in the
know.
summer.
I know.
Because I don't smell like campfire.
I don't. I don't want to. I
Anyway,
pride.
sorry.
But I think that so they got engaged. They got married in May. 4 months prior to that would have been in January. That miscarriage had to happen if it was in the summer. Could have been September. Could have been even before that. But she knew she was 11 to 13 weeks pregnant.
Fingies and toes. Never
Fingies and
forget.
toes. That's right.
And of a JJ.
And God, I hate that word. But if she was pregnant, how did she know? How
Because
did
she has PCOS. How did she know she was
That's
pregnant?
right. That's right. And when they got married, so MJ was born the following year after they got married, right? What, 15 months, 16 months after they got married.
Mhm.
She says she was on fertility drugs. I was on fertility drugs. You were as well. I had to try for a solid year before I was able, because I was young, before I was able to get fertility drugs. Then I did fertility drugs for 9 months. Never got pregnant until after I quit. And then I got pregnant. So, but we have Pam here who apparently had very little insurance or had government insurance, which at the time, did they pay for fertility drugs?
I did.
But the drugs, did they pay for
Clomid?
The Clomid.
No.
Yeah, they don't pay for, most insurance companies don't pay for fertility. That's
Right.
one of the things that the Affordable Care Act is trying to take care of.
So the timeline between them getting married and having MJ
MJ.
with
Infertility.
infertility medication is not. It's very
not.
small percentage of them being successful.
Or being true.
Yes, or being true.
Yes.
And then before that, when she said that she got pregnant with the miscarriage, right?
Right.
She said she was 11 weeks pregnant. She was drinking Red Bulls.
That's right.
She had
Stayed up all night.
PCOS.
Stayed up all night.
She was on birth control. She was on birth control.
Yes. And
She
wasn't
was on
sleeping.
antibiotics.
Right. She was on a whole bunch of shit. Yeah.
Without insurance because they got her married for insurance.
Right. And she had broken her arm.
But I can agree with that because we saw her bankruptcy filing and it was a whole lot of doctors.
Right.
Yes, we saw your bankruptcy filing
Yes, we did.
and we'll see your next one too. I hope you have a long time. I hope you have the funds to wait for us to be quiet before you file that bankruptcy. I hope you were holding your breath because we got so much shit on you. We can go forever. Anyway, at least 3 years.
Right.
Anyway, I digressed.
So I think that I don't believe that, first of all, that there is a miscarriage
No,
at all.
she took that story. I remember.
Right. And made it her own. And it was not thought about again until we brought it up. And that whole lie, they were waiting for that. They'd
Mhm.
already gotten the story together with the exception of the Louis Vuitton box.
And then the Holly Bush part 2.
That came later.
Yeah, part 2.
That came later when she
Mhm.
was when she realized, wait a minute, I buried in a Louis Vuitton box. That was Matt's special touch.
Yes.
To
They
make it-
practiced it.
Right. But once she realized we had caught on, there was no way anybody believed that.
Mm-mm.
Now it's got to be because somebody had said, well, I hope that not the attorney general,
DA.
the DA, that's right. And they named whoever the DA was. He's very interested in this story. Now it's under a holly bush that is a protected species in New Jersey that you cannot dig up. I mean, that's pretty
Can I tell you?
specific.
My friend's husband owns landscaping companies. And when I asked him this, is a holly bush protected by the state? He goes, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right,
Holly bushes?
right, right. But that was remember when I always say liars will add little touches, a lot of detail of little tiny things that don't have anything to do with the subject she's lying about.
Mm-hmm.
So that you believe that it makes more sense that she's not lying, the more details. And it's just the opposite. Something happens, I had a miscarriage. I did. I had a miscarriage. That's it.
Diesel Love says, my doctor had us try for 1 year before being
That's right.
eligible. You were exactly
That's
correct.
exactly right.
Because that happened to me, that happened to Mom.
Me. That's right.
Mhm.
You had to try on your own for a year. That's with the thermometer, charting, doing all that crap. Ultrasounds every month. I had to have your blood work taken. They do your husband. Your husband has to give a sperm sample because they don't want to be treating the wife if the husband is the issue. So they're not going to be giving the wife, all that crap if it's not necessary.
Because those are physically altering
That's right.
medications.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yet for Pam, none of that happened.
No, none of it. It was just very convenient. I feel like she lived her whole life of talking a whole bunch of shit and people not checking her. And I don't understand that. I come up from a family that if I were to say a lie and they were like, wait a second, that doesn't sound right, they would check me immediately.
That's right.
How much of a crazy ass bitch where she would just fly off the handle where people would just not say anything just to avoid that craziness. I swear to God, if I was her mother, I would just decked her real quick one time.
Twice, it'd probably take 2 times, but yeah.
One time, 2 times. Anyway,
Okay.
not saying that we would if I
Right.
was her mother. Hypothetically, Pam, so you don't get your granny panties in a bunch. Hypothetically, how did you do this?
But where was her mother?
Her mother was just as crazy.
Right, if you and I were in a group together and I looked on there and you are talking about some crazy thing that I know is a lie, I'm flying here and I'm going to say, listen, I don't know what's going on here, but this is not good. Her mother sat there during that live, the truth-telling live.
Oh, the
And
3 hour.
listen to her daughter lie about, read in the group. Her mother was in the group and lie about the cancer. I have melanoma. No, you don't. No. Lie about the miscarriage. I mean, it says something about her parents. It says something about the way they raised her. That nobody said, Pam, honey, you're lying. Because every single person we've talked to has said she's a liar. Every single one. Pam also said at one time that she was a liar. Remember when she gave a lie where she talked about how that's how she used to be.
She's not like that anymore.
She's not like that
Super
anymore.
transparent.
She's super transparent because she just is not going to allow Matt and
I
the
used to
kids.
cheat on my boyfriend.
That's right.
Someone who was asexual used to cheat on her boyfriend.
Well, we did hear that she was quite active in high school. She was.
Well, I'm just saying, if one of my exes was a brother of a porn star, I'm sure to say with 100% certainty that I had a fun time with that boyfriend.
Right. I'm sure. I'm not going to say that, but you can say that.
Dad might be watching.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't want to get any phone calls here. So.
Then your boss will really
That's
be
right.
calling
Then my
you.
boss will be. That's exactly right. Still waiting for Pam to call him, especially since she knows where I work, especially since she knows where I live
Uh-huh.
and who I am.
Yes.
You can't hide. I can't hide anymore. I didn't realize we were hiding. I had no idea.
Let's talk about the house that the Guava Lane LLC
Whoa.
bought, which I found out recently that Guava Lane was their wedding song.
Yeah.
If you're trying to hide,
Be smart.
be better at it. You dumb, stupid idiot.
Give me a call and I can give you some hints on how to, if you're going to hide stuff, because you're doing a terrible
It's
job, Pam.
so bad. It's just it's simple. So a lot of the stuff that we found,
Mm-hmm.
3-minute Google search.
That's right.
Public information. Anyway, Guava Lane LLC bought the home that they live in Florida now on Orange Tree, which is Naples adjacent because she just had to have a Naples zip code.
Mm-hmm.
But where she lives in the outskirts, Everglades, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen the land that
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to till.
Till.
Okay, just real quick. Remember when she was saying that Sassy was fainting all over the place in
Right,
Hawaii?
he has half a lung, or he has one lung. He doesn't have the other lung, remember?
And he's fainting everywhere because it's
Yeah.
too hot and they needed shade because they're going to be in the sun on the
Cold
beach
water,
for 2
terrible.
hours.
Yeah.
And he might faint, right? That bitch had that boy with that condition then, that she knew that he had a condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's either he has a condition or he doesn't. If he does, you had him out there in 110-degree heat index with hoeing out in, not that kind of hoeing, hoeing out in the field of whatever Everglades you're doing.
Right.
If my son was a faint risk in heat temperatures, I would not have him on the beach. I would not have him on the
At Disney
anywhere.
World, anywhere.
Disney, I would not have him on the stand. I would not have him on a ham. I would not have him on the there. I wouldn't have a green egg. No, I will not eat green eggs and ham.
That's right.
Pam.
Okay. Okay. I think that's good.
Trappers had enough.
I think that's good. The same thing with I had a preemie, and he did have, he was in ICU or the NICU for 3 weeks, and he had lung issues. They thought he was blind, CP, the whole 9 yards. He had wires coming out, he had tubes in his throat. Pam claims that Sassy had something we call wet lung, which is the lung doesn't, because you're not going through the birth canal, the lungs don't inflate. You're not squeezing all the water out, so the kids get pneumonia. Now, if that kid had pneumonia and he only has one lung, as she has said a number of times, why would you take that kid out during COVID?
And why would you have him be the next Andre Agassi in tennis?
Exactly.
Remember that? I just remembered that.
Yeah.
He's the next Andre Agassi. Have we ever seen him play tennis since then?
No. Chess. Her kids were playing chess with the old people in Myrtle Beach.
And finding wallets.
And finding wallets. And giving food to the homeless. And, her kids are the most sentient creatures we've ever known.
Yeah. Silver
Kind.
Girl said, cue Pam saying wet lung, her next fainting story. Yes.
That's right.
If she says wet lung, we all know
That's
that
right.
she was here.
That she is here. That's right. Because that's what they call it, is wet lung. And that when they take the kid into the NICU and they allow that to inflate by itself, which it will, because that's just nature. But my baby, when he came home from the hospital, had his head shaved. He didn't have any hair anymore on the sides because that's where all the tubes were. I fed him with a bottle. She claims that Sassy was tube fed. They fed him with a tube. Watch that live that she talks about that. That's not true.
They don't tube feed neonatals.
Well, not if they're only in there for, a few hours or a few days, if at all. Look at the pictures that she's posted. That kid was not like my kid. And I can only say my experience.
Just like how MJ turned around and crawled back up in
Jesus.
her, right, lol?
I thought I was going to have an aneurysm when she was telling that story. I don't know where you were.
I was somewhere laughing.
I really thought I was going to have an aneurysm because, oh my gosh, What are you talking about? But then she watches Grey's Anatomy.
Oh.
And there was a storyline in Grey's Anatomy where they got up on the table, not to do I don't believe it was to deliver a baby, but I think it was to give somebody chest compressions. But she watches Grey's Anatomy. Matter of fact, she's a fan. That's one of the very first things I learned about her back in the detectives group, the first one. That's where she got that story from.
The
Because-
baby crawled back up and
No,
Grey's Anatomy?
That the doctor got on top of, because that's the
Oh,
story.
the doctor got
on the table to pull MJ out. Didn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Don't they have forceps for that?
Well, I don't. When you open a uterus, the baby just kind of like
It's just
pops
there.
out,
And you just
right,
sometimes
pops
they bring
out.
them out in the bag like that.
Right. So I'm not sure what she was. I believe that she talks and doesn't hear herself talking.
Because she'll lie in the same sentence.
Right, about two different things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, totally contradicted. I think that's what happened. She hasn't told that story again. So she must have realized, well, that didn't make sense.
Well, she had her whole family in the outback in the 110-degree heat index. I was in Miami last weekend. It was fucking hot.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, but her kids are out there.
But her
Matt's
kids are
out there.
half along.
Right, and Matt's
outside.
out there with a hoe, a real one, a hoe. And that yard is going to need like a backhoe. And the water table is so high. You're not going to be able to put anything out there. And yes, you can let your chickens run free for about 2 hours. A coyote will come in. You know, the chicken will drown. I mean, it's going to be
Where are the chickens?
mess.
I want proof of life for chickens, Pam.
She did. She posted something tonight
Oh, she
about
did?
a picture of the little baby chicks. They're darling, just as cute as they can be in a garage. Too bad they're going to be dead in 3 weeks, but they're darling. They're very, very
Baby
cute.
chicks are cute, but I have empathy for animals, and I know that I don't have the bandwidth.
No, no. Yeah, and I'm not a chicken person at all.
Pam's a chicken head, or she was.
Yeah, she's a chicken head.
Apparently, chickens are easy to get and cute than ducks.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Oh man, Mom has been working on something, and it's taken her a while.
It is. What I've been trying to do is find all of the times that Pam said the cops were coming. 2 days, 2 weeks, 3 hours, this weekend, next week, last week, tomorrow.
Matt talked to them 2 days
Today.
ago.
That's right. They met us at the grocery store. It was the same cop that's the one I picked up today. It was the same cop that came to the house to talk to us about filing reports. We filed 8 reports this weekend. We now have everybody's name. The lawyers are getting everything together. All of that is a lie. Every last bit. There is not a thing we're doing here that would cause anybody.
Well, notice how when she took after that last live where she had the cops while she was undressing the cops, which was I think was
Pizza.
DoorDash.
It was pizza.
You know. Anyway, after that live and then the OG group got taken down, that narrative disappeared.
Right. Soon as she got rid of JJ Ray, and what we were doing, we were not talking about JJ Ray. So that would make sense. If we were talking about JJ Ray all the time, she got rid of it, then it wouldn't matter to her. We were talking about her, not JJ Ray. So when she sold it, we're still chatting about her. Even worse now.
Because fuck her.
Okay. And yet she has not given not a post
About
nothing
creepies.
about creepy. Well, she did say creepy people.
Today she said something about people who are silent and people who are loud.
Yeah. She screams all the time. Pam
my
screams. That's how
God.
loud she is.
I mean, I'm loud, but I'm not trying to live my best life in my let them era because people that have known me for decades know that I'm a likable person. I may have a streak, but
it's a fun streak.
it's fun and but whatever. She has this persona of where she adapts to whoever's around her, so that she can figure out who's around her to manipulate them. And
She's
she
very smart about that.
Yes, and the smartest move that she ever did was to be able to bag Matt. Not that he's any catch, but I'm just saying. She saw him with his government job and was like, I can get my MRS. I don't have to work anymore. Yeah, for insurance or whatever. But he can never get fired unless he steals time for the government and gets
Which
caught.
he did.
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
We can't say a lot about that, though.
Mhm.
Unfortunately. But what we do know is that he definitely stole time for the government. But anyway, everything for her was, oh, let's talk about how they tried to convince Greg that Matt was a soldier.
Oh yeah, yes. Was that stolen valor?
Stolen valor adjacent. Yes. So the whole taps thing, and I remember just seeing that today, the two young boys.
Right, it's on the YouTube channel.
Yes, they were doing taps. They were forcing.
On base.
Yes, they were forcing Sassy to get in queue with MJ so that they can do taps together. Sassy said he was scared, and they still made him go. I just noticed that today, and I was very upset at that.
And salute.
And salute. And he was a little baby. But anyway, so I heard, okay, from the estranged family member that, they told me that Pam was engaged multiple times. Her MO was to find a boyfriend, move in with them, acquire a pet, get engaged, break up, abandon the pet. Okay, that was
Happened a couple
happened
times.
a few times. There was a small Yorkie that was kept by Rachel. That's my proof that this is true. They had a small Yorkie that was one of the pets that Pam acquired through one of her.
Right.
She treated fiancés like Pokemon. But one of them, they acquired a Yorkie that stayed with Pam's mom. Anyway, I digress. So that was the MO, that cycle of behavior, right? So she had, so she was going through, getting hooked up, moving in, getting a pet, getting engaged, blah, 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 breaking up, coming back. Okay. What's it called?
Talking about Matt being in the military.
Oh, yes. So when Matt came along being the last fiance, okay.
And it was quick.
It was very quick. When they told the estranged family member that Pam's getting married to this dude, the estranged family member didn't care. I mean, would you, if your sister was engaged a batillion amount of times, only for her to just come back home and piss in her bed at home, right? So I know I'm going to hell. Anyway, this is getting, anyway, so they told him that she's getting married. He said, I don't care. I don't care. Oh, but he's great. He works for the government. Oh, and did you know he used to be with the Navy? They told a estranged family member that the reason why they had to get married in May was because Matt was getting deployed. I kid you not.
Which is
Stolen valor.
right, but Matt may not have known that was going on, which is more than likely, because I have to believe that Matt would have said, I'm not a vet.
Hopefully, we're giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Because I believe that Pam did that and her mother did that to
help
manipulate,
convince.
right, to manipulate this estranged member of the family to come to that wedding. Because that was when the wedding was going to happen, and be happy that his sister was, was marrying somebody who was in the military. So it's a good job.
You couldn't switch the date.
Couldn't switch the date because he was leaving. And Matt did work on base. However, he worked in the paint shop, so it's not like he had some, big job where he would get reviews and, be invited to go on business trips.
I remember.
That's not Matt.
No. And remember they said on his LinkedIn, he said he was the lead painter. He was the lead painter. There was one
Right.
painter.
That's right. Right. And You know, the thing is that they lie about stuff that's
Yes, she is
stupid.
like single white female.
That's
Yes.
right. Yes. So when you lie about things that are dumb that other people know, you are stupid because there are too many people that I grew up in the military. Your dad was in the military. Every member of my family has been in the military. My kid works for that base. And Matt is going to pretend that he's in the military, that he was training the military. My kids went through not boot camp, but plebe summer. They know that the Navy doesn't hire people like Matt.
They have sailors for that.
They do. That's right. They have people they pay.
They have the Marine Corps for that.
Yeah, they do.
They have the Marines for that.
That's right. And these when you go through boot camp or plebe summer or whatever, you know what you have to do to pass the PRT. It's not a surprise. Matt's not giving you a piece of paper that says, "Oh, I have to swim 100," whatever. That's not happening.
He's not wearing a whistle.
Yes, he probably was with gym socks, pulled up to his knee.
Only working on his glamour muscles. I mean, have you seen his legs during those pictures where he was supposedly hot?
Right.
Chicken. Oh, chickens!
See?
And now we've come full circle.
And that's and another mistake that they made, speaking of what happened before in the OG group, when Pam and Matt found out about that we were talking about Matt's jobs, about his LinkedIn profile. It was Pam who came into the group. It couldn't have been Matt because Matt knew he was just an intern. Pam said, got the job speaking as Matt, got the job at Boeing, turned it down. No, you didn't.
You know people that work at Boeing.
I know people that work at
High up.
Boeing. That's right. And Matt did not get offered a job. Then he said, got the straight across transfer. Now, that's what Pam, I bet you that's what she was told.
He lied to her.
He lied to
He's
her.
Scared of her.
That's right, because on the lie that they did after all of that broke on the 19th of August, she sat at her bar in her pajamas.
With the high ponytail.
With the high ponytail and told everybody that we were out to destroy her and that I knew to the dime how much he earned. I did. You did.
It's
everybody in the world can know that.
Yeah, it's on the OFP website, official government website.
But she is saying, and when she kept talking about how he got the straight across transfer, he's corrected her and said, no, she's right.
I'm a GS7.
I'm a GS7. The look on her face, she did one of these. Looked straight ahead, looked at him, then looked down at her ring and goes, yeah, that's right. Yes, he is a 7. She knew she'd been caught. So what I'm saying is that Matt never actually came into the group, I don't think, until later.
And then we saw him with his porno comments.
Right.
Like
I think it was
which are not cleaned up.
Right. I think it was Pam that did that because she was trying to cover, and it's what she knew. So in her mind, absolutely, Matt is, he makes $200,000 a year working for the government, sitting on his ass, bringing her, pizza bites.
He's the president of the Navy. Didn't you know?
I didn't know that.
He transferred straight across to Charleston so he can run the Navy.
Oh, well, I should probably call one of my kids and let them know.
Maybe we should talk to the commandant.
Oh, I think I know someone who might know him. I might know somebody.
You fucked with the wrong people, stupid.
That's right. Because, you don't get to be 67 and not know things. You don't.
No.
When you're my age, you'll know things, God willing, as well.
Yes. And it's very unfortunate. And out of all the things we were talking today, because it's getting late, we should try to kind of wrap it up.
Okay.
Even though apprehensive, I want to see your food pictures, please. because I took the poke recipe that you had. I have ponzu sauce. I'm going to make it when mom's gone because
Yes,
she can
thank
eat raw
you.
fish.
Okay, good.
It triggers us because of what we know about Pam's coochie
Shush.
and booty.
And booty. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that was sidebar. But anyway, I always forget what I'm saying.
Yes.
What so wrapping it up. What we were talking about today.
Oh yeah.
Mom was saying, I bet you Matt rues the day that he ever said hello
That's right.
to King Trapper.
That's right.
And Matt rues the day that he ever said any words to me at Lakehurst Elementary School in the parking lot. Matt, I know you tried to tell me to tell my husband to tell your boss that you were coming in late because some dude was ODing on the corner that worked for the landscaping company. I told you to go ahead and tell your own boss that because my husband is busy.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Yikes, I remember that.
Yeah, you remember that?
I do remember that.
So, you will rue that day.
And Pam will rue the day that she ever said she knew who I was.
Yes.
You could have kept that to yourself.
You could have kept it to yourself.
Mhm.
And we're here to tell you that the buck stops here.
Mhm.
Okay? What we're doing is not illegal. It is not even a civil matter. Because the shit that you did and said against our own personal family, and also the shit that you did to other people that worked for you, that were vulnerable to you, that your husband had the authority to discipline and then watch them change in a vulnerable situation, what you did during COVID, okay? This is karma. And I'm here to tell you, you will rue the day. The day that you threatened my mother was the day that you fucked up. And I'm gonna say it again. The day you threatened my mother was the day you fucked up. The day that your husband moved to South Carolina so that my husband couldn't be with me when my mother was dying was the day you fucked up. So we're here to tell you that we're not scared. 1,600 people on our Reddit aren't scared. And if they are, they can come to us because we got them. We got all you guys, okay? You can't do anything and you know that. And I would be so happy if you tried to send me a CND. If you tried to send us anything, Discovery will be lit, okay? Because I don't know if you know this, but we have money. And I have a lawyer and retainer already. It's just like, okay, so go ahead and send it. Anyway, she will rue the day, and she's finally found her matches as far as people who aren't afraid of her. And I tell you, every day I'm approached by at least 3 people
That's right.
who want to tell us their story of how you abuse them. You better watch your step.
Yeah, because your
Yes.
abusiveness at work.
They have
You
done
can
so
be
many
sued.
actual crimes. It's rich to hear them threaten anyone.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's right. Right. That's why we know there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do, Pam.
Joyce from Jackson, I'd love to hear from you. No, she's not here.
Oh, am I?
They were saying, but do you have a Joyce? No, no, we don't have a
No,
Joyce.
we don't.
His name is Eton and Roman. Those are
That's
mine.
right.
But anyway.
So, yeah, walk carefully, Pam. Walk really, really carefully now.
Mm-hmm. We're just talking shit in our living room. You're the one that keeps coming into our living room.
Mm-hmm.
We're just over here, you know. But if you want to start shit, fine. But if you don't start it, then there won't be it. Just let us do our thing. We're having a great time. Look at us. Don't you wish you were one of us?
You could be.
You
Why don't
could
you?
be.
I would love for
No,
you
she
to come.
couldn't.
I would love for Pam to come and try and defend herself.
Adjudicate.
Well, if these are all lies, honey, come
Let's
and
see
show it to us. All the proof that you kept saying and you keep saying, I show them proof. If they don't want to see it, they just block us.
Mm.
I've not seen one thing of proof except a proof that
Participation.
a participation certificate that you ran off the internet
Mhm.
for Matt.
Mhm.
Not once, but twice.
It was
two
so
different
crispy
ones.
too.
There's-
Did you see how crispy it was?
Yes, it was brand new. It was right off the printer. The same thing, same program that your two children showed at the end of 6th grade or 5th grade, whatever grade you believe your child is in. It's the same exact program.
Mhm.
That diploma looked exactly like Matt's participation certificates from the U.S. Navy.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, but that's just our theory.
Yes,
It
pretty
is-
good one.
It is. It is. And you know, some things we can back up with proof from public information. A lot of it. And a lot of it is just corroborative stories from dozens of people that have known Pam and then a little bit of Matt.
Mostly
know,
Pam.
But mostly Pam. Corroborative stories. The same thing over and over again. And let's run down the list before we close up shop.
Okay.
Of the things that are common threads from the dozens of people that have come to us. She's lazy.
Me.
She's manipulative and mean and narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
She's dirty.
She lies.
She's a liar.
She's uneducated. She's ignorant
Yeah.
about business things.
Mm-hmm.
They're grifters because they.
Yeah, but just like for what
Yeah.
they've said,
Right.
just lazy, lying, manipulative, opportunistic, and dirty. How many times have we heard that she's dirty?
A ton of times.
That was the one where I was like, I thought we were just being petty with that.
Yeah, no, we weren't being petty.
But we weren't being petty, like that's for real. Like that one live where she lost the Facebook group and she was like flipping her hair over and over and you saw all of this stuff that she claimed to be psoriasis. She doesn't have alopecia either.
Yeah, I think she does have that, you pull out your hair, that, whatever that is called, I think that's what she has in it. I feel bad for her.
I don't.
I feel bad for her because that is terrible to have, especially somebody who thinks she's so bitching looking.
She's got liopecia. Who is that?
You guys,
Jamie! I love you.
you guys. Okay, yes,
But-
she does, and this is a terrible thing to have to pull out piece. I mean, I feel pity because it's hard to get over. You need lots of therapy,
And she
lots
won't
of
get it.
coping skills, and she doesn't do that. She'd rather make up some new. I mean, Pam has alopecia. She has OCD. She has migraine headache. She
Melanoma.
has melanoma. She has
Some
eczema.
cardio,
She's
whatever.
got synechope. Is that how you pronounce that?
I don't know, whatever.
Something like that.
She faints.
Yeah, she faints when she gets overheated. We've never seen that happen, but
Mm-mm, never.
it does.
She's definitely afraid of the ocean.
And pickles and
So many pickles.
right,
It's
ocean,
terrifying.
lake water.
Terrifying pickles. The only pickle she's terrified is Matt's. And I'm sorry, Matt. She's doing this to you on purpose. Your wife is a hoe. Or she was a hoe.
Well, and I think that she is very abusive. Abuse, not maybe she doesn't hit because that's a different kind of.
I don't think she's
I
physically
don't think she does
abusive.
physically, but definitely an emotional, isolating your family, isolating your children from, isolating your husband from his family, isolating yourself from your own family is abusive.
How many times has she been to Jersey with the
Without-
children and she didn't bring them to see Rose? But she has a great relationship with Rose.
Right, they talk every day.
I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't know what I should say her name. With mom, his mom.
His mom. I think that if I was his mother, I would be heartbroken.
I would be heartbroken and terrified for what would be down the width from him for him.
Mhm.
There's other things that we know that happen between the deterioration of Matt's family that I don't feel comfortable of sharing.
Right.
But
those people that have shared with us are in the group. So when they feel comfortable to share, they will.
mhm.
But-
And that's a big thing for us. Another thing that we want to say for any angels who are watching or anybody who's watching, when you tell us things and you say don't tell anybody, don't
Right.
put it on the group, we take that to heart.
That's right.
We may not like it,
But we do it.
but we do it.
That's right.
There's many times where me and mom are like, okay, mom, no, and then she's like, no, Tracy,
Now calm down.
Chopper,
That's right.
stop it.
Let's
Let's not go there.
Right. Let that go. Let it go. Because that is out of respect for whoever's telling us. And we don't post anything in the group unless it's corroborated by other
Other
things.
people
Because,
and things.
right, because I don't want to ruin a family. That's why we didn't post about Matt, that chick coming on, talking about how Matt brought her gifts and stuff. We didn't post that because I'm not about to. If you want to post stuff, go ahead, but I'm not going to do it for you
Mm-hmm.
because I can't corroborate it with anything.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about it now because we've had corroboration from other incidents that other people have told us things that Matt hasn't done or that they have heard. That's corroboration that he is not this innocent little boy. If even 1/10 of the stuff we know is true,
He's in it. To
he's
win
in it to win it.
Mm-hmm. So, all this to be said, I am in touch with a lot of people, favorite angels.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep their identities hidden.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of them, but my sights are on. My next sights are on Body Dupe.
Mm.
I want her to know that we may have said some bad things about her, but
I know I didn't.
I know I didn't.
I did, I'm sure.
I know I didn't for sure. Well, okay, wait. Maybe
Maybe once
bit.
or twice.
Just a little.
Just a
just
teeny,
a little
right,
bit.
but yeah.
But at the end of the day, she's very much a victim too.
Yes.
I want to talk to you, Caitlin,
Mm-hmm.
Body Dupe. Okay. I wanted, because you were there at the very crumbling of what was going on.
And you know that we were not stalking anybody.
Right. Right.
I want to know how that came about.
Yes. And we don't have to share your story with the Reddit immediately, but if it helps you feel better, because that's the one thing too, is that when these people come forward, angels, friends, people that she's bullied, whatever, they come forward, they have this sense of, I've had this held in for so long.
It's sad.
It is like really people that have been traumatized and abused by this family.
One of the angels lost her home because of Pam and Matt.
Because
She had a job, they fired her.
no, nothing, and that was the end of that.
Right.
And again, no responsibility on her part or anything. But I get it. You take a chance or whatever. But at the same time, the reasons why she was firing people was so fucking stupid. And she's just lucky that these people are in a work at will state, right?
Right.
So, but all that to be said, if you just need a sounding board to get things out, we're here for you. Not just even us, but the other women in our group. Butterscotch, our other mod, she's here for you. We're all here for you.
Right.
There is a reason why this woman had not one, but two Reddit snark groups that totaled over the amount of 1,600 people. And when we had to reband, it took us less than 4 days to do so, right? She's a terrible person. You were not alone. And when I say you were not alone, I'm not saying it like how Pam does. I've never dealt with her or had to. Her husband's shit affected me. And you all know that. But her, I just don't like her, right? But she has affected many, many people. You are among those people. And if you feel like you need to come out and say it, cool. If not, cool. Regardless, we're so glad that you guys came to come see Trapper act a fool. Mom tried to reel me in. This is us like on a daily basis.
That's right.
And next time Mom is here, we'll do it again.
Or if you come to my house.
Oh yeah. Oh, her house is gorgeous. I love her house.
It's just the house. It's just the house. But yeah, we'll do these. If you have some questions or you know, just DM us, ask us, and we can do this again. I'm not leaving until Saturday.
No.
And we can help. We'll answer what we can answer.
Yes.
But as of right now, you've heard about 15% of what we know about this woman. Eventually, you'll know all 100% of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and maybe not, because the more that we keep going,
Now, that's true.
I kid you not, the more we keep going,
The
and the
more we
more
find.
more people feel comfortable, like, yeah, she really can't do shit. She doesn't even have a platform to respond to me. Look how far we've come.
That's right. That's right.
Her little lemonade lickers don't give a fuck about what she's got to say about this Reddit page. And if she does go on there and talk about this Reddit page, guess what happens to our numbers?
We will go up. Right.
And we'll get more stories on you, honey.
And we just want to thank you guys for being such good members of the
Oh,
group.
Jesus Christ. This
This
has been so
is
fun.
the best group. If a year ago, or a little bit over a year ago when we started, we never would have guessed we'd be here today.
We thought at least
Amazing.
like 500 people.
If
At
that,
most.
If that. Yeah, I was happy when we had like 50. I can remember, posting constantly because
Yeah,
I
we were
kept
busy.
thinking, worried about, make sure that everybody, kind of keeps up and yada yada. And you guys, we could go away for 2 weeks and the group would just carry
We can
on.
go on vacation together.
That's right. And the group would just go on. And neither one of us would have to work 24 hours, 7 days a week.
I have 2 fucking jobs. You travel constantly
Yeah, I'm going.
with our ring picks and with
Oh,
our
yeah.
ring picks and
Yes.
stuff.
Well,
How many times have we had a ring picks from Snarkers? How
Mhm.
long has it been since Pam? Next ring pick we see from Pam is going to be from her $90,000 BMW bringing the kids to school, but
Right.
not school, going to get nuggies.
Right,
And her
right, right,
PJs.
right.
Isn't it
Or
funny?
Starbies.
Starbies. Isn't it funny how she had to put on her pajamas right before this nuggies pick today to give the illusion that she was in her jammies all day? She's trying so hard to show that we're lying. The harder you try to show that we aren't right, the more you show that we are right.
That's right.
Because we know you, Pam. We know bitches like you. And you know what? And it's funny because growing up the way that we grew up, we've had to deal with women like this.
Mhm.
Because Mom and I, the reason why we act like more mother and daughter is because we come from the same kind of cloth.
Mhm.
We don't let anybody tell us any type of thing.
And just really quick, let's tell the story about how Tracy came into my family.
Okay,
And
fine.
it's my family.
Okay,
All right, you tell your part and then I'll tell my part. Quick.
Okay. So I used to travel a lot. Do you guys even want to hear that story? I don't how I met King Trapper.
I love that story.
Okay, so it is funny because this is after I went live that one time and I unmasked myself, right? Not live, but I unmasked myself. I did notice a lot of people making comparisons of how Pam and I are complete polar opposites.
Mhm.
And this goes into it. She got married for insurance. How romantic, right? So I used to travel a lot for work, and I traveled twice a week at the minimum. And I was traveling to a hospital in the South, and my flight was delayed about 9 hours coming out of that airport in the South, connecting to Chicago.
Mhm.
I was in this airport, and so I was in this airport. I'm on the phone with my mother because I just got a not notification because we didn't have cell phones like that because it was before Google. So anyway, So I realized that I was going to be in the airport for 9 hours. So I get on the phone with my mom, tell her what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I'm walking this way, and this very handsome boy is walking the other way on his phone as well.
Because he's talking to his mother.
He's talking to his mother, which is this wonderful woman. So we are crossing paths. We lock eyes. I tell my mom, oh my God, Mom, I just saw the cutest guy ever in this airport. Oh my God. So hot. She's like, well, why don't you go talk to him? And I said, no. He's probably 10 years younger than me. He's totally out of whatever, blah, blah, blah. What does he want to do with this old lady? So, no, I'm not going to talk to him, whatever.
So Kyle is talking, whatever.
King
Trapper is talking to me on the phone, telling me that he's going to be late coming in. And he passes by her and goes, Mom, there is the most beautiful girl in the world in this airport. And I say, just go talk to her. And he goes, are you kidding me? Because he's kind of shy.
Very shy.
He's very shy, very reserved, sort of like me. and so I'm like, well, whatever. You're dating some stupid girl. You're never going to get really married and whatever because you're too embarrassed to go talk to the most beautiful girl in the world who's in the airport. Anyway.
So we cross paths. Boom, that was it. I get to my gate. I make my phone calls. I'm waiting around. Finally, 9 hours later, I'm looking. Also, this airport in the south is small. It's a small puddle jump airport that's a connector. If you guys are from the south, you know these airports where it's just like biplanes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting for my connecting flight back to Michigan, and I'm looking for him. I think maybe I can see him. I said, I didn't see him. So I said, okay, he's probably gone. There goes whatever. That was a cute boy. 9 hours later, I get on the flight. I get on the plane. We finally boarding. Get on the plane, put my stuff away, and guess who's sitting next to me? King Trapper. And I'm like, oh my God. I've been single for a while at this point because I just got out of a bad toxic relationship. I was doing my own thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like shakingly, I look at him, I see that he's there, and I said, oh my God, this is a sign. I remember praying, this is good. I'm going to try. So I went to the bathroom and I shakingly wrote out my phone number because I've never really given it in a matter of about 2 years. And I was like 27 at the time. So that was a long time for me. So writing out my number, and I folded it up because I had plans to give it to him. And we sit back down. And we sit down. It's a smaller plane. So the way that the plane people were sitting in, it was unbalanced. That's how small the plane was. So they had to move everybody in the front of the plane up to me and King Trapper's aisle to move back to the back of the plane so it's more balanced. So the flight attendant said, okay, everybody up until here, you need to move to the back of the plane. And they didn't make me and King Trapper move. So I look at King Trapper and I say, I'm really glad that she didn't make us move. And that was it. We spent the night in Chicago airport talking, getting to know each other. He went off to his final destination. I went off to mine. He left Mom's home during Christmas. Now I realize how big of a deal that was.
That's right.
He left Mom's home during Christmas to come see me for a day before I went back to Michigan. And that was all she wrote.
Well, and then, so my husband had transferred. My husband works for a Fortune 500 company, has for years. And we were being transferred from Pittsburgh to where we live now in South Carolina. And I was looking for a house, and we were going there. And King Trapper was in college in a state above us, not North Carolina, another state. And so I said, honey, meet us in Charleston. Dad's company will pay for our rooms. Come to Charleston so we can see you. And he goes, well, I want to bring this girl.
He called me a friend.
He called her a friend. I want to bring this friend with me. Is that okay? And I said, yeah, I don't care. So they meet us at the airport. He brings her. We look for homes. We get to know each other. And when he takes her to the airport, I looked at my husband. They leave. I looked at my husband and said, that's the girl. That's her. That's the one that he needs to get. So when he comes back to the hotel, I shut the door and I said, sit down. I said, that's the girl for you right there. You're not ready, but that's the one. You don't get her, you will regret that the rest of your life. And he was like, okay.
3 years later,
3 years
we were
later.
married.
Got engaged with my
Your wedding
my
ring
old wedding, my old engagement ring
on Christmas.
on
So we made
Christmas
up for
Day.
that Christmas that he had to leave early to come
That's
see me.
right. That's right.
He drove 10 hours, by the way, to come see me, to give me a flower. And then I literally saw him for 2 hours. He gave me that flower, and then I had to get back on a plane.
Yeah. It was a great move. It was a great because
So much better than for insurance.
absolutely yes. And you know the crazy thing is you didn't have to sleep with him.
Well,
I'm sure
not
you-
that. I have 2 children, Mom.
I know you do. But I'm just gonna pretend that I don't know anything about that. That's my baby.
Just call me the Lady of Guadalupe.
yeah. God. Yes, you are going to hell.
I am.
You are.
I am. I ube.
That's
I
right.
tarot root.
That's right. Oh gosh,
Anyway, I love you guys.
we do too. We love you.
We can keep going, and I will get myself a UTI by sitting here on this couch and not going to the bathroom.
That's right. 'Cause-
But
see if there are any questions anybody needs to have answered though.
okay, wait. Oh wait. Okay, any questions? Any questions? She was in jammies, but her hair was straightened. Oh, that was this today. Will there be a New Jersey meetup? Yes. Another one in the works. Basically it will be around, when do you want to come back?
Okay, so
You gotta be
I gotta be in
someplace.
Spokane on the 25th. I'll go to Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to Celia's in San Jose, and then I'm going to his King Trapper's brothers after that for his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will be back in actually I could come here so maybe sometime in
Fall.
in the fall. October, I have to be back in
Pre-Thanksgiving.
Yeah, before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back.
We're gonna plan it, and we don't use a DM. We're just gonna, put it out there.
Let it.
Because if that bitch wants to show up, come on. We have some things we want to clear out with you. Because if we're liars, I don't like to be a liar. If I'm wrong,
I want to know.
I will be like, I guess I was wrong, because we're not Pam Webster.
Mm-hmm.
Will you make this a weekly thing? Unfortunately, no.
Because you can do it yourself.
I'm
Brad.
busy as fuck, dude.
I know, but
If you are local to New Jersey, I am around and about. I am the very definition of an around the way girl. You'll see me over here, over there, over here, spreading wonderful laughs and whatever. But I would like to do this every time me and Mom are together, whether we are in New Jersey or in South Carolina
Mhm.
or wherever the hell we are together. I would like to just pop on for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't say every week, but every quarter. And we'll give you guys
Unless we
plenty.
come across some
Super
amazing.
tea.
That's right, because it's only $88 for me to fly here from South Carolina to here, and I can be here, or I could drive up. I've driven a billion
Many times. This
Yeah,
is before we realized Atlantic City had an airport.
that's right.
Have you reached out to Duke? Not yet. I am letting enough water go under the bridge. I want her to understand that any snark that's given towards her and our group was not a personal attack on her, but more so as a reflection of how Pam was treating her. So if I give her enough time to kind of give her the separation, the space between her and Pam, kind of process what she had went through with her, maybe she'll be more open, because I feel like that's how I'm mostly successful with these past angels. I let enough water go under the bridge, and then it's just an open discussion at that point. So I don't want to say when, because if she's here right now, I don't want her to be like, oh, we're gonna come get ya, blah blah blah. It's not like that. I just want to have a conversation with you. I'm interested, And I know she was a victim too. Let's see. I love the Liopecia. I can't get over that. Liopecia. I wonder if they still talk. I don't know. I don't remember when she had remember when she had that picture when she was at Body Dupe's new place of employment, and there's a picture of her and the kids and Body Dupe at the restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to me the look on Body Dupe's face was she was kind of caught on surprise, you know, and that wasn't really a plan to get together between her and the Websters, but it was kind of like, hi, we're here, take a picture with us, and then I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say that this meeting was.
Mhm.
That's what I think. I don't think it was a genuine, let's get together, you know, camaraderie type thing. I think it was she surprised her and kind of just showed up.
Same thing with Christy at Walt Disney World.
I don't
On
like
New
Chrissy.
Year's.
Oh, something about her makes me angry.
I know why.
Yeah, I don't like her. That's why I'm not approaching her.
Well, I'm not approaching her because I don't think that it would be helpful. I don't think she would be able to tell us anything we don't already know.
Already know.
Yeah.
And that's one thing too. I talked to Paris briefly. He's thriving. I am a fan.
I am too.
It's just more of the same of what happened between him and Pam and Matt. Matt also let him go and then blocked him. But I shared with Paris that I feel like she 100% exploited his identity.
We didn't talk about the uncles either. That's gonna have to be a
Oh
whole.
my God, the uncles.
Yeah, a whole other. Maybe we could do this.
The next time we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do the next time. We have a lot of the uncles. God bless them.
I
God
love
bless them. Yeah,
Jerry and Jimmy.
great guys, great people. That was a great day.
That was a great day.
That was a great day. Mhm.
Oh man, yes. And also, just to say on record, nobody ever struck Sassy.
That's right.
And if you try to say that again, I wouldn't say that against people who have the ability to actually
Your
say
ass.
that you defamed them.
That's right.
Just a pro tip.
Mhm.
Did we cover, are the boys in public school? I heard that they are. And this was from somebody who spoke with Chelsea recently. I don't want to place the time or place when, but it was very recent. It was after the close of JJ Ray. Somebody had seen Chelsea, asked how everything was going, asked how the boys were, and Chelsea said that they were in school. So that's why I said that I have under really good authority of thinking that they are in school.
And the reason she's not saying anything is probably because they didn't test at a 7th grade and a 4th grade level.
At a Harvard level.
Right. Going
At
to
a
medical
Doogie
school.
Howser.
Exactly. That didn't happen.
He's not pulling anybody's gallbladders out.
Thank God.
Good.
Yeah.
Did we cover, okay, thoughts on Chelsea? Will she ever say anything? No.
No.
I don't think she
so
will.
either.
Everyone that we talked to about Chelsea, and I do, after talking to people about Chelsea, I do kind of feel a little bit of empathy towards her. Just because, yes, she was there when Pam was lying bold-faced to her customers about the selling of the business. Yes, she did participate in looking up somebody's address on Comments Sold when she was giving away that Moana backpack.
Mhm.
I feel though that Chelsea was not, I'm just gonna say it, but and not in any kind of way, she's a weak person. And Pam preys on weak people. And also people that have anxieties surrounding
Insecurities.
relationships with other women, right? And that was her weapon. I'm not gonna be your friend. And they would, okay, we'll do
Right.
whatever you want.
Right.
Right? And just because of that, I don't think Chelsea's going to come forward or say anything. the amount of times that we were told that Chelsea was crying locked up in a closet or a bathroom or in a car
At work.
because of Pam is heartbreaking.
Mhm.
It really is. So these women, I don't like Megan though, but I'm gonna lump her in there. These women were very much victims,
Very much, very much.
and I do have to give them that grain of salt to give them the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we can give them grace. But
There, that's the word.
right, but it doesn't matter.
Yes,
They're
Chelsea
not-
is a people pleaser. Yes.
Right, and they're also afraid. We heard that from every single person.
They're afraid
They're
of her.
afraid of her. I don't know why. I could beat the shit out of her. One arm tied behind my back. I don't know what they're
And
afraid
even
of.
then, and the thing is that I know for a fact if Pam were to see me out in the wild, she would turn around and walk the other way, because she
hope
does
so.
this stuff on the fly, behind facades, behind a fake wall, behind a strawberry pie. Oh my God! Let's just give a shout out to the fake wall moment of silence.
We almost tried to get one.
I have one, but I just really didn't want to pretend I was being Pam,
Right.
because
right.
we're
It
way
would've been
better than
fun.
I just
It would've been
whatever.
fun.
And just it's funny. I mean, you guys all know that I'm a yoga teacher online and in person, so yeah, I have all these things. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think Chelsea's gonna say. Did any of the angels have hard feelings toward Chelsea as being complicit? Yes. They threw each other under the bus all the
Constantly.
time. And at least they all know, at least the ones that kind of like woke up, they all kind of see where it was coming from. They understand that they were being manipulated and pitted against each other. So they each, even though some of them don't even talk anymore,
Mhm.
they still find grace. They hold space for each other.
Right. They protect each other. They're
Mhm.
still in a protection mode.
Yeah. I genuinely love to know how they really are doing and adjusting there, and hope they are going to, yeah, they really do need it. I agree. Caitlin Allen. What's the story of Caitlin Allen? We're trying to get a hold of her. She's living her best life away from Pam, and because of that and the amount of trauma that she has went through
yeah.
with Pam, she wants to totally detach. Even she doesn't even want to talk to us,
Mhm.
and I respect that.
Right. She doesn't want to relive any of that.
And I
So
respect
that's
that.
how bad it was.
I respect that. So, let's see. I don't know. Okay, so those are the questions
Okay.
on that. Yeah, this was
Alright.
fun.
It was really fun. I
I
hope you
am-
guys had fun.
The amount of rally that me and Mom had to do, because I've been awake since 4:30, and not in a Pam way. Like, I'm up at 4:30. I'm getting ready to get the lunches and getting the breakfast and getting the kids in, doing some work at my real big girl job, well, that's another story. Big girl job, being a wife. You're here. I want to entertain you. My yoga
Yes. Yep.
shit.
You're quite busy.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
The rally we had to do, but once we got here with you guys, I love it. Oh, Caitlin is body dupe. Yeah, there's two Caitlins.
Caitlin Allen.
Caitlin Allen, Glasses Caitlin,
Right.
and then body dupe.
Mhm.
Glasses Caitlin was what I know to be the very first nanny teacher, JJ Ray person.
Twice. She did it 2 times.
Yeah. So that's Caitlin. She doesn't want to talk to us, and I respect that. My eyes are set on the prize of body dupe, but I'm just waiting for a little bit more time to pass under the bridge. So if you guys can help me out by not saying anything bad about her.
For a while. So if she
Just
checks
for
in
like
the
a
group.
while back.
Right.
Just
right.
not even for a while, like a day or two, because of how active we are.
Mhm.
It might be good, but yeah. Yeah, Caitlin Allen. Anyway, okay. It's late. I'm tired. I love you guys. And we'll do this again. I hope you had fun.
If you didn't, don't let us know, because
Or
we're gonna do it again.
I don't mind. Either way, I
I-
can take negative criticism.
can
I
too.
won't
I'll
block or
just-
delete you.
I will. Block, delete you. We'll never hear from you again. And I'm going to talk bad about you.
Just don't white knight for them. You can
That's right.
you can tell me I'm stupid and ugly,
I'll be
but
fine.
just don't say Pam Webster is right.
That's
That
right.
will get you a block.
That will get you an instant block.
instant. Anyway, we'll do this again. Love you. Good night. Keep on snarking.
Love you guys.
How do I stop this? Oh my God, I'm terrible. Yes.